Welcome to my Xbox and Me 573. I like how that rolled off the tongue. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, along the man who's got fucking gorgeous hair. I don't want to swear this early on, but really gorgeous hair today. Happy video. Your hair's looking good today, sir.
Oh, thanks. I did not think you were coming to me. I thought you were coming to Big Crash.
No, Crash's hair looks stupid. We'll talk about it
I
later.
think Crash's hair is looking
let's
great.
Talk about you. Look the other way for me real quick. Look that way. I'm just saying. Put it this way, Matt. I was getting this shit, but I'm not going to. I was getting this shit. I was getting this shit, but I'm not going to. I was going to say something really mean, but I'm not going to. Look that way. Look that way again. That's the type of hair I wanted as a kid, by the way. I used to. You know that story, right?
No.
Well, half white, as everyone knows.
Sure.
But as a child, you don't quite understand the concept of, being half white. So I always wanted to have quote unquote white boy hair, which is what
Right.
I would equate your hair to being, like what 5-year-old MC Fixer wanted. And yeah, sometimes I look at your hair, man. I'm just like, damn, that's some good hair.
Well, I appreciate that. I really don't know what I'm doing with it. Welcome to the Xbox
There we
podcast,
go.
everybody. In a week where Xbox news is flying out the door. This last year I've been all over the place with my hair, letting it grow out and then cutting it really short and just not knowing what I'm doing at all with it. So I appreciate that.
I like her.
We wouldn't know that because you're barely on the podcast.
You should not hear.
It's fair.
So you saw.
That's fair. That is fair.
Someone else with hair is Too Fresh Crash.
Wow. I like it, Crash.
I can't see, so I don't have
Crash,
energy for your BS.
How many fingers am I holding up, Crash? How many fingers? Am I
12. You have 12 fingers up right now, Fix.
How are you, Crash? How's things?
I'm doing okay. No glasses sucks, but
yeah, well.
Knicks won.
I'll be
That's good news.
Woo,
you know what's Knicks won, and then the day after that, Xbox torpedoed all excitement I felt.
Yeah.
That happens. And of course, the one and only, the man's on the ones and twos. It's Mr. Paul Despawn. Hello, mate.
What's up, people? How we doing?
How are you, Despawn? I didn't want to mention your hair because
I'm wearing a hat.
The obvious.
Yeah, so I'm wearing a hat, and it's terrible.
Long overdue haircut. Right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm so long overdue haircut.
Okay, so we're on half until we get to the real news, right?
Mm-hmm. This is real news.
I went to a different barber the last time I went, pushed back my hairline.
No, can't do it.
It's because and now I have to grow my hair out again in praying that my hairline's gonna go back to where it was.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I will.
It's a tough couple of weeks.
So give you just to put the fear of God into you. As somebody who has shaved his head multiple times, it does have an effect. It goes back. Like your hair. It takes it. Your hair struggles to come back from it. So just.
What I will say, got a pretty good hairline for a 34-year-old, almost.
Yeah.
Is what I would say. My hairline's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
No.
But anyway, this is my Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/ official MXAM. You can follow us everywhere at MXAM official. Joe, I double checked it the other day just to make sure I was getting it right, and I am. It's okay. I figured that part out. You can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/MCFixer. I did buy a domain to do a code to move it. It's a whole thing. But what I will say is I finally set up, this is going to sound crazy, the private SSR feed on Patreon. Ooh. So now the episodes automatically post there and everything. So yeah, Patreon have sorted out their back end, by the way. Their website looks way different. It's a very nice website now. Not that it wasn't before, but it's way better now, is what I will say. So yeah, expect more stuff on there hopefully soon.
So what you're saying is, if people want to see how great their website is, they should go over to patreon.com/MCFixer to check it out right now. And while you're there, maybe subscribe at the MXAM fan club level.
That's what I would do, personally.
Huge.
What I would do. Topic of the show this week, boys. Some big news in the video game space. We will get onto Xbox a little bit later, I promise. But Grand Theft Auto has dropped its key art. So I want to pass over to our Grand Theft Auto correspondent, Matt P. Video, on the ground floor. Matt, talk to me.
I hope you all enjoyed the do-do-do-dos because they definitely cut out for me. So assuming they did for all of you at home as well, he was doing the news reporter do-do-do-do thing, you know? Yeah, that one.
Breaking news!
It works that time, Fix. It worked that time. A little bit less energy, and it works.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is exciting. They launched they revealed what we assume to be the official box art for GTA, which is always a collage of images. And Rockstar don't do anything without thinking about it. So we are going to pixel peep this cover art to get every little bit of information we can out of it, starting in the top left corner. We're also looking at they released several format versions of this. We're looking at the kind of 4K full resolution horizontal version because it gives you the most information on those images, I think. Is that right,
Crash, that's,
yes,
in
that's correct.
720p.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did not think about this when we discussed this topic of like, we're going to pixel peep this on the day that Crash can't see anything. So that's fun.
It's weird. It was weird.
Maybe we should come to Crash first on each image to get his ideas of what's going on in them. But we're going to start off top left corner where we see I believe, new vehicle for the series, a helicopter that is clearly able to land on the sea from its kind of foot plating with also a mounted machine gun. And we don't typically see loads of mounted guns on vehicles in GTA. They've obviously done that before, but I'm not aware of certainly they've done also planes that land on the sea before, but I'm not aware of a helicopter that can land on the sea that has a mounted gun in the series so far.
I think the problem's gonna be GTA Online. I could see them having added it to GTA. I don't think they have, but I could see that being like
that could be a thing. That could be a thing, and it could be a thing that people recognize from that. I don't think you can tell who's in the helicopter in this one. I think you could probably leap and say it's Jason, our main male protagonist, but I think that is a big leap. I think this bar that goes down the middle of the windscreen is kind of perfectly placed there to obstruct who that is in there. But yeah, sometimes there are just generic characters right on the screens as well. Like we've seen them do that a lot as well. So I'm not sure there's too much else. Is there anything else in this first image that you guys are kind of interested in?
Nothing massively. Like it's exactly what you expect from the skyline. So in the background, you've got the massive skyline. I mean, just for the whole thing, the color palette is great. It gives me very Vice City vibes, which is what they're going for. But yeah, I don't think there's too much that you could glean from this apart from helicopter go brrr.
You know, not to jump ahead at all, but what I will say is I do think water is going to play a huge part in this game. Way more than maybe I think I was expecting. Obviously, GTA 5 specifically, I remember them doing you had to do it for one of the achievements. You had to go and collect all the things underwater. I wonder if we're going to see more of that type of stuff with them playing with water. Again, just playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag, coming off the preview of that, seeing how far water has come in video games. I know that sounds stupid, but like I'm actually really interested to see what Rockstar does with water. I think Red Dead Redemption's water, Red Dead Redemption 2's water is fantastic. So I can't wait to see that leap here, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's going to play a bigger part than I was expecting, I think.
Yeah, it leaves a really interesting spot of having like these big ships that you possibly go and like rob and stuff like that. So adding more of these elements kind of like makes sense and adds some dynamics that I don't think we've ever seen in GTA as well, which is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I think even when you think back to the original Vice City, right? Like because it's on that island, like you already were doing a lot in the water. The speedboats were a big part of it, right?
True.
And like that culture of like Miami, Florida, that area, you know, boats are a big part of it, right? Being on the water is a big part of that culture and stuff. Like in a lot of the screenshots they've already released, it's people in water, right? Even if they're in pools or they're in, you know, rivers, and there's the in the second trailer, there's the what do you call them? The big fan on the back of it, and they go over the swampy areas, right?
Swampy area,
yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you'll see a lot of that. I think there'll be as big as the car culture is in GTA, which will obviously still be huge, and the motorbikes will obviously still be there, and that'll obviously still be huge. I think you're right. I think like this like waterborne vehicle stuff is like a new area for GTA to go into. You know, we barely had any of it in 4. Not a whole lot of it in 5, and so apart from the sort of jet skis and stuff like that, right, out by the pier.
Yeah, the beach,
yeah, exactly. And obviously there were still speedboats and stuff in it, but I think because the water encroaches on the land a lot more in that Florida area, you've got the swamps, you've got the rivers and stuff. You will see a lot more of it, and we'll, like you say, get to it a little bit later. But yes, Crash, you look like you were going to say something. Sorry.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, never mind then.
He's just quitting.
We'll
'cause he
move on
can't
then
see it.
to. Yeah, exactly. We'll move directly down from there then, where we head to another image of a lady who we've not seen, I don't believe, in any of the trailers so far. Again, like I say, sometimes we do get characters that are kind of random NPCs on this cover art, but I would probably think this is going to be an NPC or a character that we get to know in the game. And like I said, Rockstar don't put mistakes in their stuff. So I think there is something to be said for everything in this image. We can see tattoos, several tattoos on this character, lots of jewelry, lots of customization. I think that probably does hint at like a level of customization, which we'd expect anyway, a level of customization in this game that we haven't seen elsewhere. I think her necklace, I can't quite read exactly what that says, but I would wager that that is a parody of Supreme, the very
like that.
popular. Yeah, exactly. And you get loads of parodies in GTA games. It's kind of what it's all about. Her drink
jump in
Sorry, go on.
real quick. I was gonna say the other parody there's got to be White Claw, right? In that
Absolutely,
hand.
that's exactly what I was going to say as well. Yeah, that drink is a Thor drink. That's the only word we can see on that drink. But absolutely looks like White Claw branding. And so yeah, I think we can expect a lot of that stuff, right? In GTA 5, a lot of the big sort of parody stuff was around social media, around like Facebook and stuff like that. And so yeah, a lot of the like high fashion stuff might play into this.
So zooming in on this one, because using Chrome and its wonderful zoom feature. So yeah, it looks like it is a full-on hard carbonated drink, is what it says on the can. And yeah, the first half of the name is just says Thor, THAW. The necklace says Siempre, SIEMPRE. So yeah, Spanish. Which again,
is that Spanish for Supreme?
I don't know.
Look, I play a Vargo in GTA roleplay, but I can't speak Spanish. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It means
go on,
always,
Crush.
and if I've done it right, I can't see the actual spelling on it because I don't have my glasses.
Yeah,
but Google says that it means always if I did it right.
Yeah.
So
are we all seeing the tattoo on the wrist there? I'm seeing
305, I think.
305.
Yeah, you assume that feels like some sort of gang sign, or there's like area code, right? In America,
Yep.
a lot of people kind of denote their thing by their area code. Is that right, Crash?
I don't
Crash
think
the
I'm
most
the person.
Crash the most gangster.
I don't think I'm in any position to answer that. I get what you're saying about area code, like phone, like yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, sure, yeah.
Well, look,
I don't want to give you a
area
definitive
codes.
yes to that.
Yes.
Matt.
So my
I am
definitive
not the
yes
person
on
to
that
be definitive
is
about yes.
it's Rey Mysterio, right? He's from 619.
Yes,
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? That I'm aware of. My point of reference for that is Andy Cortez, part of Kind of Funny, is always saying like the 405, I think, is his like Texas area code from when he was a kid or whatever. And so there is that. I think as well, Crash, you might know better than me, although I feel like I'm putting you on the spot a lot with American culture and asking you to come up with something. Her jersey, which is like kind of cut, feels Miami Dolphins to me.
It's Miami Dolphins. It is. That is definitely Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, and so it'd be cool to see like the local sports team be a big part of this in some way, or like you can imagine like a heist taking part while people are distracted by the big football game that's happening, or something like that. Could be really cool, right? Or you can just attend local sporting events. Would be awesome as well, right?
So I mean, in the trailer, there was the part it showed. I think it was in trailer 2. They showed the bit with them hijacking like what looked like a business building, where they were running in with their high-powered rifles and masks and stuff.
Yeah.
That could be in the background of a sports stadium where they're taking bets while the match is going on.
Yeah, I would love that, right? To be able to like gamble on local sporting stuff, or you get like a notification on your phone even that is, hey, this thing's going on. Are you going to place a bet? Kind of like an extension of the stock market in 5, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my brain automatically went to, and this is just me being old, Beverly Hills Cop 2, where they kept so the bad guys in that kept knocking over the like the betting stores and things like that.
Right.
And like the like where the horse races were.
I would love that.
Yeah. So
like
maybe
like GTA 5 obviously had like convenience store robbing you could do. And we've seen a similar thing in this, although it doesn't look like a convenience store. In trailer 2, I think again, Jason is like robbing some sort of store. It didn't feel like a kind of convenience store like from GTA 5 to me. And so hopefully, there are more options to rob more things. And if one of them's a bookies, and you can like somehow, rig sporting betting somehow, or so I could definitely see that taking place in here. And like the and this is maybe too recent to make its way into this game. It's been in development for so long, but like the recent kind of betting on literally anything that seems to be coming out of the US.
Hey.
What's the platform called?
Which
What
one?
is that?
Stake.
Oh, there's several of there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Other
stake, I
platforms
see
out there
Oh,
as
there's
everywhere.
a,
big
there's a
one.
specific one. I know
Yeah.
the one Matt's talking about. I can't remember the name of it off the top of
Yeah.
my head. But on to the point about it being too late. The White Claw thing is kind of old already.
Yeah,
I
for
did
sure.
actually want to mention that. Does that give you guys the vibe that that's around like the date where most of the parody elements
References
will
are?
come from? Yeah.
I think you'll see so much of it, right? Like I think some of it will feel dated, some of it will feel,
I d-
relevant. I think, interestingly, like GTA 5, Lindsay Lohan tried to sue GTA 5, right? Because they thought she thought she was the girl or whatever in a lot of the images like this. But even that felt dated when GTA 5 came out. I always kind of felt like it was more that character because it's part of a mission set where you help out a paparazzi, right? And you're like taking photos of her and chasing her. I always felt like that was kind of more relevant to like a Lady Gaga or a Miley Cyrus or something at that time than it was Lindsay Lohan. And I think they try to keep these things broad enough to
Yeah.
like
Avoid
White Claw.
litigation.
It's still relevant,
It
right?
won't. Whatever they do probably won't like cement it in time where it feels outdated, but it's like
Yeah.
where the reference will come from. I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one more thing in this image, which is probably quite far-fetched, but in the background, you see the Atoll Bar and Grill.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there will be some sort of mechanic in this game where you can buy businesses. Obviously, that's made its way into GTA Online in a big way, right? You owning businesses, you owning nightclubs, you owning stuff like that. I wonder if there's an element of like money laundering, and to do that, you need to buy businesses and like wait for your money to sort of be cleaned, as it were. Something like that could play out. That was a thing in very different game, I'm aware, but Schedule 1 had that mechanic, right?
I was gonna
Where
make
you
a
had
Schedule
to,
one joke.
yeah, you had to buy businesses and wait for your money to get laundered through those businesses before you could access them. I could totally imagine GTA doing something like that, even if it is to slow you down in the early game. I think that's an interesting thing that GTA has always done, right? With the bridges out of action, so you can't access this area yet or whatever. These sorts of things they introduce to slow the player down, specifically in the early game. I can imagine something like that being in the game.
So my question on that,
Again,
just quickly,
Go on.
is obviously it's been, I don't know how long ago it was now, like maybe a couple of years. Obviously, they bought the RP servers, and they've got that kind of the back end knowledge from people who built those, and a lot of that is built around people owning businesses and running businesses to the
Yep.
granular degree, like you've got to buy or grow your own crops and things like that. Could you see them maybe putting more of a like an arcade? I use that term loosely, but more of a GTA spin on that for GTA 6. Of like you say, you have to
don't
buy
know,
a building, you put your money into it, but you can also like you have to go out and like do the stuff to keep that running on a day-to-day basis, or is it just a case of you own that business, you can put a certain amount of money in, dirty money into it, and clean money will come out of it?
Yeah, I have no idea, to be honest. Like I've really flip-flop on this with GTA 6 of like how granular are they going to get? The classic one that people talk about, which I'm sure we'll get to at some point, or now, is gas, right? Are you going to have to put petrol in your car?
Yes,
and there's that
you
argument of
are.
like, well, that just isn't fun. Like having to do that and having to worry about it might not be fun. And I think like there is that line of well, role playing has a lot of stuff in it that isn't quote unquote fun, but the
Agree.
granularity of it is what people love, right, about it. But do you give that to the mainstream,
Give it to the masses, yeah.
exactly, hundreds of millions of people who are going to buy GTA 6? People are going to go out and buy consoles for GTA 6. You want to keep the fun, right? Like, and you keep the absurdity of it, I think, a little bit more. And so I don't know how granular you get with it. In GTA 5, the stock market system never felt like quite as fleshed out as you wanted it to be. Like you wanted to be able to manipulate that market more than just doing that story mission. Like as far as I'm aware, it was always tied to a heist, and it was always Lester calling you up and going, "Hey, you should put some money on this stock right now because you're about to go rob it, and it will go down or up or whatever." And you try to maximize out your winnings from that. I don't know how much that evolved in online. I'm sure it did to a certain extent. But but yeah, like the granularity of building these businesses and owning this business and making it go up. Or if you do buy a bar and grill, are you looking at social media reviews of your bar and grill? Like, have you got to worry about hiring people or, keeping that sort of thing going? Who knows, right?
I
Well-
could see you owning a bar and grill and then them incentivizing you like, oh, don't commit crime in this area, go to the other neighborhood so that this place is safer or whatever, and more
Yeah.
people come to your bar and grill.
Push
and
his
stuff
business
like
to
that.
your area. Yeah, I
Yeah.
could see that. So you mentioned the social media. Like, I know a lot of the rumors around this game are like that the mobile phone in it is going to be, and the social media at all is going to be like
Yep.
the big person. Obviously, in the first trailer, we got all of the like social media clips of the different people around the city. So
Live
maybe,
streaming and-
yeah. So maybe you could see something like that of people like capturing stuff and like showing off their bar, and like incentivizing people to come check it out.
Not
And this is
not
what I'm
only
saying.
that,
So
to
cool.
give you something on the RP side of things, right? And again, I know the RP is minuscule in the sense of GTA realistically, right? Like, but every single server right now has moved to a phone that is social media based. Now, is that a coincidence? Or, and again, I'm playing on Prodigy right now, right? Which has just had its big update, and everything we've just spoken about, which could potentially be in GTA 6, is what we are doing currently on GTA 5, right? It's
Yeah.
buying businesses, it's managing those businesses. It's, again, I think they could do all of those things, but make it more fun. So you're not, again, you got to remember, I'm out there farming for an hour, and that's the real hour time. Like, I don't think you're going to have that in GTA 6, but I do think you could easily have, oh, I'm going to plant my crops for the food for my restaurant, and in a minute, I'm already got them sorted. I think. I'm not saying that's going to be the case.
Yeah, no,
I
I get
your.
I get your train of thought. I think my only pushback on that is really like how much do you add of stuff like that and it stops feeling like GTA, right?
Mm.
We've talked about like the controls and the combat and how I'm not the biggest fan of it, and but you also can't really change it because you end up stopping it from feeling fully like GTA at the same time if you fully rework it.
Yeah.
I worry if they add stuff like that, do they look at it internally and be like, does it stop being GTA if we make it like go plant your crops for your restaurant and all that stuff?
I look
So-
at it more as an additive
Mhm.
of like, it's the same thing of like back in the day with San Andreas of going to the gym. Like, you didn't have to do these things. I think that's always been the special source of GTA, right? Like, the amount of stuff that you have in the game that some people don't even realize you can do. Some people are never going to go play darts. They're never going to do pool. They're never going to go bowling. They're never going to, like, there's so much stuff like that in GTA that I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bunch of these quote unquote mini games within their business sector, is what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's not gonna change the crux of what GTA is, but I do think for people that, and again, there is a lot of people that want that level of immersion, I can't see them. I can't see them doing it, or I can't see them not doing it. I think it's just an option that could be done.
Yeah, the question for me is like, how much do they want to put into the single player side of it, and how much would they do that as multiplayer when that finally drops?
Yeah.
And how in depth do they want to go with their online mode? And are they gonna go the full RP route with it, or are they gonna have that middle ground? Because and again, I also agree with what you said, Fix, of like it could be like totally optional. Like, you don't have to play golf in GTA 5. You don't have to do the stock market.
Yeah.
But if you do it, it's a nice bonus extra to get like a bit more fun out of the game. There's a bit more money you can earn. Like, there's things you can do that will, but
Longevity as well.
that have nothing to do with the storyline. Like, they don't affect
Yeah.
the story in any way. They're just there for like, flavor, and that's what that could be.
What I do think is you'll find is that GTA 6 will be the least deep version of whatever that mechanic is. If buying businesses is a possibility, it will be the easy in for online, which will be more complicated, and then RP, however that's going to
of course.
work in GTA 6, which will be even more complicated, right? And so it will be that funneling system. Having said that, there's no doubt in my mind it will be more complicated than it is in 5, right? Like the stock market system or the social media system, whatever that is, will be more complex. I'm not sure there's anything else in that one image to chat about, unless you guys have spotted anything. We'll move on to the next image, which is maybe the new updated Infernus style car modeled after Lamborghini typically,
Mhm.
with the gull wing door outside what looks like something boardwalk maybe.
I think it is
Hotel.
Boardwalk, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the Boardwalk Hotel or if it's in Vice City. Obviously, the most famous hotel in Vice City is the Ocean Look Hotel. Is that what it's called? Or Ocean
I
View
think so. Ocean
Hotel,
View,
where you
right?
do
I think
a
it is.
lot of your early missions out of. Yeah. I would suggest that this is probably on that street if these images are modeled after real streets in the game. And we'd also see that street in trailer 1, I believe.
Yeah, the strip, yeah.
Almost this shot, right? But with a lot more cars in it, a lot more people in it, and like a homeless guy sat down by the car, and I think he's got like an iguana on his arm or something crazy. But yeah, interesting that I think this is probably like one of the first images that you can like really pin to a point in the trailer. I don't think there's a whole lot else in this image. I don't know if you guys are seeing anything that I'm not.
No, like right in the far
Ray tracing
distance.
reflections.
Yeah, there you go.
I was going to talk about that, ray tracing reflections being a thing. I think it's weird that in that environment you would see that car reflected in the floor, and so maybe that is like a pointed call to ray trace being a thing.
Yeah, or it just looks nice.
Or the floor's just wet.
Yeah, the floor just might just be wet. Yeah,
Whoever was drawing, I was
floor.
like, you know, it look really good right here. A wet floor.
And I mean,
Maybe.
they're not wrong. It does look good. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say, right in the far back, in the back right corner, there's another building called the Paramore. But again, not a name I'm familiar with. I don't know if that's just a random thing from them, but
Fair
yeah.
play.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, fair play to you. Fair play. Yeah, I'm not sure there's anything else to sort of get from that as we move on to our next image, which is a crocodile, which comes back to what you were saying, Fix, of, you know, water being a huge part of this game. And I think that sort of makes its way into to wildlife as well. Are we expecting some sort of hunting mechanic similar to Red Dead in this game?
Absolutely.
You had it in
Yeah,
GTA
I
5.
mean,
They
again,
will have it in GTA 6, but it'll be more in depth.
I'm sure people would be bored of me keep saying about roleplay, but that's my point of contact here as someone who plays GTA probably every single day in comparison to everyone on the pod, right? Hunting, again, another mechanic that has been implemented into roleplay servers quite intrinsically, early game roleplay stuff as well. Yeah, I think it's going to be there. I think it's going to be one of the early jobs that you can do to make money. Again, I don't think it's going to be one of the things that you have to do. I don't think it's going to be mandatory. I think if you want to go steal cars and shoot people and not to get too gratuitous, but, you know, have sex with hookers, I think all that's still going to bloody be there. But I do think I think this game is going to have everything. And maybe I'm overselling it, and maybe I'm just expecting way too much. But from even the leaks that we saw back in the day, all the footage that got leaked, they had like store robberies, which looked more roleplay-esque. I just think they've seen where the audience has gone, and the thing that's made them the most money more than anything is GTA Online. I think, like you were saying earlier, Matt, you're going to see these very simplified mechanics of hunting and, you know, everything else in which we're referencing, and then they are going to get built out way bigger, whether that be in GTA Online or whatever the RP sector is. But yeah, hunting 100%, and I think it's going to play a big role in Florida, because why wouldn't it?
Yeah. I also think like that leads me to think like very big swamplands. I think in the similar where you have like the top portion of GTA 5 that's all like the deserty area or whatever. You'll have a lot of like big sections of that in GTA 6 where it's just swamplands, where you would get the boat with the propeller in the back, and you'd get the crocodiles and all that sort of stuff. And then on top of it, like I think the evolution of everything's a really good point. I think it's really easy to forget how long ago GTA 5 dropped, and just like the advancements of technology. I think like even if you look like the store robberies, like I'm sure the way that they make it now is like how they envisioned it before, but it's like they just couldn't do it, and now it's like you can fully build that out.
I think the big thing, Crash, is Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Like the little bit of Red Dead RP that I did, right? Like I did it for a couple of weeks, almost a month, and I was like, oh my god. Like you forget how in-depth and good that game is. Yes, it's not Grand Theft Auto, but there's no way the tech that they've built for hunting and all that stuff that is in Red Dead, they're just gonna go, oh, we don't need that anymore. Like, why wouldn't you? You know, it's already there. So yeah, no, I think we're comparing this to GTA 5, which I don't think is the right comparison. Red Dead Redemption is the comparison, I think.
comparison for GTA 5 was strictly with like the store robberies and stuff,
Oh, no, of
which you
course, of
you
course.
do get in Red Dead Redemption, and you're
Yeah,
absolutely correct. You do see that evolution and that stepping stone. But I think for most people, it is like they go to GTA 5, and you have a really good point of like Red Dead Redemption is the next game they made out of that, and you see the
Yeah.
leaps and bounds they took with that, and then
Mhm.
there will be leaps and bounds to this game as well, I'm sure.
absolutely.
I think it's really interesting that almost everything we've had so far, trailer 1, trailer 2, this, screenshots, they've all contained alligators or crocodiles.
Yeah.
Like
be.
and not always in those marshlands that you were talking about, right, Crash? Like we see somebody pulling one out of a swimming pool. We see one walking into a
That's-
convenience store.
That's Florida. That's
Well,
just-
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly, right? And so I think there's something really interesting in that. I think you're right. I think you will see them. I think you will be able to hunt them in the marshlands, but I think there will be like random events where like one is walking into the convenience store. What you are robbing a convenience store and one
And
walks in. That
just
could be like a
waddles
random
in.
thing that happens. And like they could be really deadly. And I would love for them to be really deadly. I would love for you as a player, even when you can pull a rocket launcher out of your ass, right? You've been playing the game for 60 hours. I would love for a crocodile to show up and for it to be like a thing, you know,
And
for the
then
cops
get
to have to show up and deal with it as well. Like that you're not the only thing that's chaotic and impacting this world. There's other bullshit going on as well as
Yeah.
people are trying to get on with their day. I would love that.
So what I would love to see from that is, I don't know how long it's been since anyone jumped into GTA 5, but you remember the little blue dot missions that popped up?
Yep.
Like just a random encounter. I'd love like something like that to be one of these, where it is you just driving down the street, you come past a convenience store, and it's a blue dot. You pull over, and it's the store owner losing his mind because there's an alligator running around in the back room.
I don't want it to be a blue dot though. I just want to say that this one. I want it to feel more natural. So I
You
think
just want to
that's where
see someone
games have
shouting on the
evolved.
side of the street.
I just want to, as I'm driving past, I just want to hear someone screaming, and then it's down to me. And again, I think we've seen this in Red Dead, we've seen this in games like The Witcher and things like that, right? Like where random things just occur. I don't want it to be again, I'm not against it being a blue dot, but I would love it not to be. I want it to be more of a case of that water cooler moment. Every week we come on this podcast, and it's like, all right, what happened in your episode of GTA 6 this week? Oh my god, I was walking along the street, and a monkey jumped off a tree and punched me in the head, and it's like that wasn't a moment that was meant to happen. It just happened. I'm making up a scenario, okay, people, relax. But you get what I'm going for here. Like, yeah, that's what I would prefer.
Yeah.
The way you could, I think, do both a little bit is in America, it's very, well, not very common, but common for you to get like an Amber Alert on your phone that is like, hey, this thing has happened in your area. The one I got while I was in LA this time is there's been reported a child kidnapping in your area. Keep a lookout for XYZ, which was horrendous, right? But you could imagine something like that, an alert on your phone that's like, caution, there is an alligator in the Cluck and Bell on this street.
I was gonna say they don't do Amber Alerts. I don't know what Florida does. Maybe they do have crocodiles.
So here's the thing. So what I would say is it doesn't need to be an Amber Alert. If the game is going full speed on social media, just have a bunch of fake social media posts.
They could have
so and so has just gone
spotted,
live
yes,
in the Cluck and
neighborhood
Bell.
apps as well, where it's like, whatever app for the whole neighborhood of like there's been a crocodile sighting or some absurd sighting of whatever the case is.
Crocodile sighting pictures posted on Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You could definitely see that. And that could be a way to hunt down those like legendary creatures. If they're going to do that like legendary thing, like there's some crocodile that's like legendary that you need to find. And it's like, oh, you can just scroll social media for a while and hope that you come across somebody who's live streaming.
Something.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah. The last thing I'll say on this then is they've also released, and not now, they didn't do this, they released this a few months ago, is like postcards for each of the locations. So as you were talking, Crash, there was the Grass Rivers location, which again specifically calls out gators. It says the gators may be the most famous attraction, but there are far more deadly predators and wider discoveries among the mangroves. So might not just be crocodiles and alligators that you're having to deal with and fighting. There could be plenty of other things.
Monkeys confirmed.
Monkeys confirmed.
Head punching monkeys confirmed.
As we move across to the next image, then, this is the first character that we know from both trailers and information that Rockstar have put out. So this is Booby Ike. And the stuff on the website says it's all about Heart, the Jack of Hearts. Booby is a local Vice City legend and acts like it. One of the few to transform his time in the streets into a legitimate empire spanning real estate, strip clubs, and a recording studio. Booby's all smiles until it's time to talk business.
You're gonna buy
Which
businesses
again,
in this game. You're for sure gonna buy businesses in this game.
yeah, exactly that, right? I think like that does hint to me that this is some sort of business mogul, and you could definitely imagine doing jobs for them and doing missions for them, but also becoming
teach
business
you the
rivals, right?
ropes.
Or teach
And,
you
like,
the
this
ropes. Yeah,
is-
exactly.
This is how you buy your first business. This is what you got to do to take care of it. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly that. And those are the sorts of things. Like obviously real estate, we've done that before, but owning a strip club, very GTA. Recording studio, interesting for you,
Well,
right?
we've
Fix?
had that in online. We've had that in online. Obviously, we
Sure.
had Eminem and Dr. Dre. What was it? Eminem or just Dr. Dre?
No,
I think it was
I think it might have been
just
just
Oh, was it
Dr.
Dre?
Dre.
Dr. Dre, maybe
yesterday.
Snoop Dogg as well, but it was definitely Dr. Dre.
Yeah, definitely
Very
Dr. Dre. We got a mission with him and GTA Online. Music has absolutely exploded in Grand Theft Auto Online. Sorry, GTA roleplay, I should say. But yeah, music has always been a key thing in the radio stations when it comes to GTA. But yeah, owning studios and maybe local talent and signing them and again, I know I sound like a broken record, but all stuff that I currently do in roleplay,
Yep.
if you just give me the facilities to keep doing that on a smaller scale, and then we get the tools to be able to expand that in GTA 6 for RP, could be amazing. Really, really could be. So yeah, very, very interesting, very excited. And just to say on this character, again, it's cool. I know people don't get. It's good to see a black guy on the front cover, man. For me personally, like really cool. Looks like a cool character. Obviously, I'm interested, man. I'm interested to see how this story plays out. Will we kill? What's his name, Matt? What was his name again?
Booby Ike.
Will we be killing Booby Ike? Will we be partnering with Booby Ike? Who knows? But I'll probably be killing him, to be honest with you.
I say, why not both?
I've already made that. I've already made that decision. He's dying. He's dying. He's got a great hairline though. I was talking about that earlier.
There we go. As you scroll down on his bio page as well, there's a quote that says, "The club money pays for the studio and the drug money pays for it all." Which I would say, again, kind of hints back to this idea that you might be money laundering, right? That's clearly what he's doing, right? Like he's a drug dealer and that's making him a lot of money. And he also owns all these businesses. And there's a reason he owns all these businesses, right?
Hey,
so that's really
Ike is a
interesting.
platinum selling artist.
legit.
Nah, he's legit. I don't know what you're talking about.
There is more information about him on that bio site as well, but we won't go through it all right now. The only last thing I would say about this, or this character and what we were just talking about with the recording studios, is we've seen music like be a big part of it already, right? We had a screenshot of like Lucia in a pool wearing like AirPods or whatever this game's version of AirPods are going to be. And there are rumors or speculation that there would be some sort of Spotify system in the game, and that you might even be able to contribute to that Spotify system. And so if recording studios exist in the world and there is some way to make music in the world, that you could then populate this with your own music, which could make its way into other players' games, onto the radio. If the radio is even a thing, right? It might be some sort of podcast system where you are getting into every car and it's immediately hooking up to your phone and it's playing whatever you want off your phone, right?
Did you just say podcast system? Podcasting in GTA?
Or a podcast system? Like these are things that we've seen other games try to explore. Like most famously, I think Beyond Good and Evil 2 came out and said they were going to do stuff like this. You were going to be able to add your own graffiti to the world and you were going to be able to add your own music to the world and all this stuff.
Cyberpunk did it as well, right? They added some sort of, you can submit your music and to get added to something. If I wasn't I could be mistaken on that.
I think
I
they
think there was a
worked,
mod for it.
There might have been a mod for it, yeah. But I know they worked with a lot of like underground UK bands and stuff like that. Like one of my friends' bands is on there.
I think the problem with that in particular to Rockstar is that it opens up the path for a lot of lawsuits from them.
Yeah.
And I think that is the reason I could see them not doing it, just because people, if there's anything that they're like, I can sue Rockstar over this because like something that sounds like my music is in the game. And I'm going to sue them because it's Rockstar and they might just pay me to shut up, right? Not there's any grounds for it or anything like that, or they have any like real legitimate pushback on it. But I think that's the only reason I could see them not doing something like that.
If it's not curated, then there's a risk.
To interject again, No Pixel, the biggest roleplay server in the GTA space, has removed all of their. So I was on their music app for their 4.0. That whole app got removed and stopped getting updated as soon as they went into partnership with Rockstar. So don't know if that is a a telling sign for what's to come. But yeah, they used to update that app regularly, and again, it was a whole, like you're talking about, Crash. You had to prove that you owed the license. You had to prove that it wasn't. Actually, we weren't worrying about AI back then, but you had to prove that you owned the license for the music. You had the exclusive rights to the songs. So there's a big difference between leasing a beat and owning the exclusive rights. Back on NoPixel, you had to have the exclusive rights to the song, and there was a whole application you had to go through, which obviously I know quite well, being a big component to that server for a while. So yeah, I don't think it won't happen, but I agree with you. You got to remember, Rockstar already have their 5M media thing. I don't know if you guys know about this, but like where you can upload media onto like their thing to then. It's a whole thing. I don't know the exact ins and outs of it, but it's all for like roleplay stuff, and you can tell if you own the exclusive to it and stuff. So they already have systems in place for stuff like this. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the only flip side. Yeah, my only issue with them doing that, it's not an issue that I have. I think it's an issue for them, is the amount of stuff that they would get submitted. And if they want to curate that stuff, you've got to think like, what is this game like projected to sell like in the hundreds of millions? And even if like 10% of the people submit stuff, it's going to have to be somebody's full-time job for years just to go through all that.
Yeah, so the website's called 5Manage. It's used by Prodigy and a bunch of other servers. It's already got like 100 plus million files uploaded, monthly logs, stuff like that, 7 petabytes of data delivered monthly, and so there's already an infrastructure there, is what I'm saying. I don't know if that's an official Rockstar thing, but because they own 5M, I imagine they probably own 5Manage as well, but could be wrong.
How are we doing for time, and how granular can we get on the rest of these?
Keep going, baby. Keep going.
Let's do it.
This is the pod
I'm
right
enjoying
now.
myself. I'm enjoying myself.
Me too.
So we'll move on. Oh, well, have you got anything else to say about Booby's image?
No, not.
All jokes aside, if they now black hairstyles, I'm going to be very happy.
If someone's got to do it, right?
Well, yeah. It always comes down to the modding community, to be honest with you.
No, but I mean, some of the
good hairline.
Yeah, someone official's got to finally do it, and if anyone's going to do it, hopefully it's going to be Rockstar, right?
Yeah, it would be nice. No Killmonger hair here, which we're very happy about. My man has got a nice shape up, which I was talking about earlier. But yeah, black hairstyle is obviously something that gets severely overlooked in video games because they're hard to do. But I would be very happy, or I hope Rockstar can do it. It would make me very happy, is what I should say.
Moving on to the next image, then we'll stay on the black hairstyles theme, because we can see that this is a black character on a motorbike with dreads, I guess, coming out of the helmet there.
Looks like it.
Which would be interesting, right? Like, I think like the ability to take on and off a helmet was in GTA 5. I don't know how well hair integrated with that. I don't think I ever gave any of my sort of GTA story characters long enough hair to see how that would work. But obviously with one of our main characters being female and assumedly having long hair, if you so want, I think that is probably something they have had to tackle at Rockstar. Like, how does hair integrate with the ability to take a helmet on and off, if you're riding these motorbikes? And so I think that's interesting to see. I think you maybe could make a leap here and say that we've seen this character in one of the trailers. There is a character in trailer 1 who has like a lot of fake teeth, gold fake teeth, and dap somebody up very quickly in that trailer. I think it would be a leap to say that this character is that character, but maybe if that character is going to be significant and they wanted to get them on the box art, I could see that being a thing. But yeah, is there anything else you wanted to point out from this specific image, guys?
Fake Gucci belt.
Fake Gucci.
I was going to say, even if that character isn't a significant character, I think like almost every other image on this cover, it just gives a vibe, and you get a very good vibe from what they have on the cover of like what the tone is going to be for the game, and the setting and everything.
Yep.
Yeah.
There is. Oh, sorry, go on, Newsman.
I was just going to say, just going back on the hair thing again, using past work as an example, like I am so interested to see how hairstyles are going to work in comparison to Red Dead, because the way that Red Dead worked, obviously you could grow out your hair. So you could just naturally grow a beard. You could naturally grow longer hair. You could drink tonics that make it grow faster. if you want to change up your style, those kind of things. Like, would they do similar things to that?
I would love that. I would love for you to be able to go into a barber and have certain options locked off because your hair's not long enough. Like you can't have that style. Your hair's not long enough. That wouldn't work. You know, like you can only go shorter than what you've got right now, and you've just got to wait it out if you want to go longer.
Wait. Sorry. So can I just call Matt out for a second here?
Oh.
He wants locked off hairstyles because your hair's not long enough, but he's frustrated that you have to put gas in your car.
Yes, because the gas in my car stops me doing a gameplay thing.
I agree.
Whereas the hair thing is a
It's
purely
stop,
cosmetic thing.
It's not the same thing at all, Fix.
I get where you're coming
like
from,
my
Fix,
games to
but
be realistic.
Yeah.
I want realism. All right.
No, don't say
You
that.
can give me all the realism.
Don't say
or
that.
None of it.
You hated whenever your horse ran into a tree.
Yeah, Red Dead was frustrating. Red Dead was frustrating.
I'm gonna put it on record. I want them to have the gas thing in there. I want them to do it because
Oh,
I think it'd be so much.
don't.
I think it'd be so much funnier if you're planning a heist and you're trying to get away and then you realize you've run out of gas, and it just turns
and then
into a whole thing.
Steal another car midway through and Yep.
I think
If it happens in a heist, sure, but the fact that it would probably happen while you're driving around all the time is
It
why I'm like,
wouldn't
I
though.
don't.
Craig. It becomes very second nature. Like you're gonna have it go beep 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 beep. You're running low on gas, and then you're gonna go, oh, I need to go to a gas pump.
Better not
Boom,
do this
there's
mission
one.
just yet.
Like,
Let me do this gas pump.
Yeah.
You think you get a mini game where you're like trying to stop it at the exact dollar value?
No,
Oh, you don't really do that in the US, do you?
No, you don't want any of that. No, they don't do
What do
that.
you
You
mean?
just put it in and click it. You don't do the whole.
So in
stand
the
there and pump.
US, correct me if I'm wrong, Crash, you go in and pay before you pump, right?
Depends.
Okay.
It depends because if you can go and you can put a dollar amount on a pump, or if you go and go directly to the machine and you're paying with a card, you just put in your card and then you pump as much as you want.
Got it. Okay, so you can try and stop it at exactly $50 or whatever.
Like you're like, this is how much money I got. This is where I want to stop it.
That's the whole game. That's the whole game, right? You got to try and stop it on the exact dollar value. I could see something like that. I also think I think we're obviously going to get electric cars in the game. And so how that will work versus gas stations and stuff like that might be interesting.
I have a question.
But yeah,
on that.
Go on.
If they do put electric cars in it, which they're more than likely going to do you think we get a Life Invader-esque GTA 6 mission where we kill a version of Elon Musk?
Yes.
I think it's very likely. I think there will be a version of Elon Musk in this game. I think there will be a quest line involving driverless cars going crazy. I could definitely imagine that because how fun is it to have to drive around the streets while cars are, there was always a cheat back in the day where it's like everybody drives like a fucking maniac, in like GTA 3 and Vice City. Just like having a mission where that is happening because all these cars have gone crazy and like, smashing shit up. I would love that.
I already did that in Cyberpunk. I don't need it in GTA.
Oh, is that already a thing in Cyberpunk?
Oh, interesting.
Love it.
One more
Go
thing
on.
to add on this, Matt, real quick. Obviously, you're seeing in the background there. I imagine this is one of the hoods in the game. Like, imagine it looks very south-sidey from what I'm taking. Again, we can't see much else about it, but probably one of the projects, I would imagine, right? Cops coming down to the area, everyone on their bikes doing wheelies, get the hell out of that type situation.
And we see a similar shot to that in trailer. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's trailer one. Yeah, where there's loads of people wheeling through the streets, which feels a little bit different to this because I think all the bikes in that shot are like very like motocross bikes, right? They're like very dirt bike. Whereas this is a very flash bike with seemingly loads of sponsors on it. Like looks like an official MotoGP bike, right? With like sponsors and stuff on it. I'm sure we could dig in for ages and try and figure out what these brands are. And I'm sure they all exist in the world and I'm sure they all do something, right? But I think that's interesting that like, you're right. This feels like a bit of the hood. This guy feels a bit out of place on this bike. And so like, what does that mean? Maybe it's a legit Gucci belt and he's not out of place on this bike at all. I don't know. The only other thing I would say, the only other thing I would say about it is ripped jeans, which are clearly a style fashion ripped jeans thing here. But do we think there's a world in which you could fall off this bike and end up ripping all your clothes?
I think that's going over, but I think that is a stylistic choice.
I think for sure it's a stylistic choice.
You know what?
It just made me think
I wouldn't
about
be
it.
surprised if that guy had his girlfriend or whoever like gave her the pants and a knife and asked her nicely to do that for him. You know?
Going into Matt's question, I could I could see them doing wear and tear on clothing. Like
See
that
it.
if they were gonna do anything to like take it to the next level, like we've seen it in like lots of single player games where your character goes through the shit and by the end of it they're covered in crap. And then, they can clean themselves off. I could see them doing that where you'll go through a mission and like you'll get to the end of the mission, your clothes will be ruined, and you'll have to go off to a clothing store to change. I don't think if they did it, I think it wouldn't affect the gameplay too much, but I think you'd get like NPCs commenting on your outfit. I think that's what they might do. Of like you walk past NPCs in the street and they're like, "Oh, that guy stinks" or whatever, or like you go out in a really nice fresh outfit that you've picked up from the store and spent thousands on, are like, "Ooh, looking nice." I could see them doing something like that. I think that's the kind of immersion I could see Rockstar doing.
Does anyone want to make a pizza bet?
Go on.
No rippable
Let's see what
clothes.
the bet is.
I think you're going to be able to remove all of your clothing, each individual piece of your clothing. So you'll be able to take off your hat or a helmet, your t-shirt or your jeans, your shoes.
You mean organically whilst you're going down the street?
Yep. So
Interesting.
So Jason will be left in his underpants. Lucia will be left in tasteful bra and underwear pants, sort of thing.
I think more so than most GTA games we've seen so far, or certainly Rockstar games we've seen so far, I think swimwear will be a big part of it. Like I think we've seen that, in one of the first images we just looked at was the girls wearing like bikini bottoms. I think, and like the beach culture we've seen a lot of in the trailers. So I do think there will be an element where you will be able to walk around in a lot less clothes than you have typically in GTA games and Rockstar games. I don't know why you would introduce that mechanic from like a gameplay standpoint, other than it's cool to sort of be able to whip off your top for some reason.
Enough for you?
So I don't think so.
You want to take a bet?
You take that bet? I'm not getting involved
Sure, I'll
because
take you
I'm a 50-50 on the whole thing.
Good deal. Good deal.
Last thing on this image, I would say before we move on, is that so far every character we've seen has had multiple tattoos, and like we sort of talked about it early on, but like the customization level, I think in this game is going to be insane. Whether or not we've talked about being able to make your own music and put it in the game. Is there a world in which you design your own tattoos in the game and get them put on wherever you want on your body? I can see it. Crash says no because the time. What is the thing in? Do you guys ever watch Mythic Quest? Which is the TV show. It was a parody TV show basically about a company that were basically building World of Warcraft. And they're one of the first episodes, it might even be the first episode, is the TTP, time to penis, because they give the characters or players the option to dig in the game and dig wherever they want. And they're like, the time to penis is like non-existent. It's going to happen immediately. They're immediately going to draw penises. And so
that's 100% where I'm at. Like, people would put in absurd things as tattoos.
Yeah. So my issue is, and we've covered it briefly, is the litigation risks. Like when you can let anyone put anything in your game, there's such a risk that they could put in copyrighted work, they could put in hate speech, they could put in a lot of things.
100%.
And also
it would definitely happen.
And then also there's the flip side of putting in whatever you want of like the AI generated stuff conversation as well. Is that something that Rockstar would even want to be involved in? And do they even want that stink on their game?
Yeah. We will see. We will see.
I think they're more likely to design their own artwork for tattoos, like they have done with previous games.
And I think it will be extensive. I think we're seeing that
yeah.
a little bit in this cover art, right? The next image up then is another character that we've learnt about before from the Rockstar website. This is Raul Batista. And his bio says, confidence counts. Confidence, charm, and cunning. Raul's a seasoned bank robber, always on the hunt for talent, ready to take the risk that brings in the biggest rewards. And so that is basically signposting exactly what we said before about Booby. If he is your tutorial into owning businesses in this world, Raul is your tutorial into heists and robbing banks, which makes a lot of sense. But yes, anybody got any thoughts on this image? Anything that jumps out to you?
I mean,
it looks cool.
It looks very cool.
Cool.
Pulling up the mask on him, wearing the gloves as well. I can't make out what the name of it is fully, but it's like Sin something International Bank.
International Bank, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what that first word is going to be, but it's Sin something.
Yeah. The pulling up the mask as well, you pointing that out, I think is like a big part of the game, right? It obviously was in 5 when you did heists, was like going out and buying your masks before the heist. We see it in the trailers as well. Lucia and Jason both wearing masks as they rob various things. And so, yeah, that customization will be back, obviously, and in this game as well.
Speaking of customization, if you want to look at the guns, we don't know what the gunplay is going to look like in GTA 6, but looks like we've got a red dot. Looks like we've got I don't know what they call the angle thing. What goes under the gun? I'm just forgetting what they call it.
Yeah, under barrel grip. Yeah,
under barrel grip, the angle grip. Looks like possibly an extended mag as well. I could be wrong about that, but could be some of the customization that's going to come in shooting. Do we think first person and third person is going to be there day one?
Yeah,
great question.
Did
Do
the
you
last
think?
did
GTA 5
Rockstar
was
have?
added.
it was added for the next gen
Did
version.
Red Dead.
Red
had
Dead?
it.
That's what I was gonna ask. Added? I think
Red
it's
Dead
added
had it.
then. Oh, it had it from day one.
No, it had it day one. I believe it had it day
Oh,
one.
then I think this has it day
Yeah,
one.
that'd be day one. I don't think they'll remove functionality that was in Red Dead. I think they'll
I mean, it's
just
just
leave forward with
designing,
it.
it's designing the game, like, again, having to make sure all of that works again, and like.
But they've already done the work, right?
Yeah, I
They've
agree
done the
with you.
legwork on it. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with you, but yeah, just interesting. But yeah, being able to see down a red dot in first person would be interesting, along with any other gun benefits that they're possibly going to have with customization. We've always had customization on guns, but just good to see.
How in depth is it going to be? Yeah, I think including the first person, I'm interested to see how well the first person feels coming into this new generation. Considering like one of the things I've always felt about GTA is that their gunplay is probably the weakest thing in that game.
Yeah.
So like if they can nail that, like you say, if they're building it from the ground up rather than forcing it in at the end, then I've got good feeling.
There's also a stamp on the side of this gun for Duke something. I believe the Duke gun store is something we saw again in one of the trailers as an advert on TV for Duke's gun store. And so whether or not where you buy your guns from will matter for some reason, right? Are some more reliable than others? Are some cheaper or more expensive? Can you only get certain guns in certain places? And is that denoted on the gun? Is kind of interesting. Or is that customization? Is that bling that you can add to your gun? Can you add stamps? Can you add gun charms? How deep does that customization go? I think is interesting to look at as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only last thing I would say about this character and specifically is like we see him in the trailer in a shootout in the middle of the street with Lucia and potentially Jason, although he's quite far away and blurry when you see him in the trailer. It's in a scene that is very reminiscent of Robert De Niro in Heat. Rockstar obviously pay homage to a lot of like gangster culture and those kinds of movies and stuff. And so to assume he would be this like kind of father figure maybe. We've also heard a lot about like Lucia's dad in a lot of the materials. And so still living in like Liberty City and stuff like that. And so, it could be interesting to see what their relationship is like with this guy. A bit of a father figure, a bit of a Don.
He is giving me
old school gangster.
He is giving me Val Kilmer and Heat vibes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Moving on then to the next image across, which is a speedboat. And a flamingo. Again, more wildlife in the game, more hunting opportunities. Although it seems sad to kill flamingos. I don't know.
That's it.
Yes.
What's a flamingo done to you?
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah. I was asking, does it?
Yes,
He was like, that's the only thing I was gonna hunt for the first 3 days of the
Yeah,
game.
Just
that's
killing
it.
flamingos. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
The only other thing I would say about this one, I don't think there's like loads in this image, really. I think all of the people in it are basic rando NPCs. I don't think there's anybody really identifiable or that you should care about in there necessarily.
Disagree.
I think it's interesting. Oh, go on.
Oh,
I think the ones in the middle and the back right is Lucia and Jason. Because I think they've actually showed up in I think they've actually showed up in a speedboat in a trailer. In trailer 2.
So there is a speedboat in trailer 1.
Okay.
Sort of skimming along the water. And I think it looks relatively similar to this, but it only has 2 people in it, as far as I remember.
So some of the things we've seen in the
maybe.
trailers is obviously Lucia gets out of prison. She starts having fun with all of her friends and like Jason. So I could see this being like, this could be a scene in the game where they're hanging out with friends from beforehand. This is them living. So the way I feel that the game is going to go is very much, it's going to start with her getting out of prison, trying to live a normal life where she's doing her community service. She's trying to be, an upstanding pillar of society.
Doing her jobs.
Doing her
Like
jobs.
raking the farm.
Doing her jobs. And then I think they're going to be slowly like hanging out with her friends, which is what I think this is. And I think then they're going to be like slowly but surely pulled into bigger and bigger jobs and doing more criminal things, and that's where it's going to go. But I could see this being like one of those story beats where they're hanging out with friends. For sure.
I could see it. I could see it for sure. I think it's interesting there are so many characters in this speedboat. I don't think we've ever really... Yeah, I don't think we've really had that in games before, in the GTA games, where you get like... Yeah?
Yeah, we got 5
in RP.
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
I assume that means you can do it in online, but definitely 5-seater boats, 100%.
I do wonder how much like partying will be a part of the game. Like in a similar way to, GTA 4, you had Roman calling you up all the time, like, let's go bowling, let's go play darts, da-da-da-da-da. Will there be an aspect of that? Will there be an aspect of friends calling up and going, like, let's go party with like a lot of people? Like we've made that technical leap now where, like I always think of like spring break being like a big Florida, Miami thing, right? And these massive boat parties with like, 1,000 people out on several different boats all in like one area. I could definitely see that being a part of this, and like big party culture being a part of it, and just like lots of people, lots of NPCs, lots of interaction.
So the party mechanic would be dancing in the club, right? So you've got to imagine that's the mini game. Because again, think about it, cousin phoning you up, it's bowling, it's darts. What's the mini game for party? Is it spamming a button doing shots? Is it dance set like controller for dancing? Like what would you say would be the mechanic?
You see a fair bit of partying in the trailers as well, right? Like there's this scene in the trailer where somebody jumps or falls through a folding table with like loads of drinks on it, or and there's stuff like that. Whereas beer pong, I could definitely see a lot of this stuff happening, right? And then you do see Lucia and Jason dancing on like a yacht, right, in one of the trailers as well, and in a club, I think actually. And so I could totally see that sort of thing happening. Again, it comes back to how big is music a part of this game? How big is that culture a part of this game? And I think, you could definitely see it. I think so.
I know it's not really been talked about here, but like I cannot wait till they start announcing some of the artists that are in the playlists. I think I'm excited about that.
Give me money. I want my boy to get paid.
I can say it.
But again, like how dated are those things, right? Like I remember DJ Khaled, whether or not he's chatting shit, who knows? But like him saying he's in the game.
Been a few people that have mentioned
that was years ago.
T-Pain also like noted they couldn't play GTA roleplay, was kicked off of GTA roleplay from Rockstar because he has music in the game. So now, does that make the final cut? Is always the other thing, because there's going to be many people who have been paid by Rockstar to license their music that then they go, nah, doesn't fit our playlist. So, but T-Pain has a clip out there on the internet about him wanting to play No Pixel, but Rockstar saying he can't because he works with them. So,
yeah, I could definitely see it. Mini games where you're dancing and stuff like that being a part of it. Whether it's like DDR, like up, down, down. I don't know how you would do that and make it fun, but I'm sure that they will find a way.
Absolutely.
On to our last image then, which is of our protagonists, Jason and Lucia. Is there anything here that jumps out to you guys? This is
the basic image, right? That we've all seen. This is the literal first image that we saw when they announced the game. That color palette, if I'm not mistaken.
Similar to it.
Nothing really.
I mean, the big thing is obviously his tattoo. He looks like he's part of the Marauders. So I think they've talked about it in the past. I've not looked too much into it, but like, have they talked about how he was an ex-soldier?
Yes.
So,
well, I don't know if they've officially mentioned this, but like the heavy implication is, Jason is ex-military.
He's ex-military.
And this is the thing of, is he somehow involved in law enforcement? Is there some sort of betrayal coming in this game that he's actually undercover? This has been like long rumored.
But I'm thinking like
maybe
that's so hard to do as a player, by the way. Like,
sure.
Oh, you play as this character, and I'm gonna go make him rob banks and do end of the story. He's a cop. It's like it just kind of don't feel right if that is the case. It's gonna
takes away the agency,
weird.
right?
Like, hey, I just paid a stripper to do the various things in the car with me, and now I'm a cop. That seems weird.
Well, I think
be a dirty cop.
Yeah, it is.
No, of course.
and I think there is an element of that, right? Like all law enforcement in GTA typically is very gray, and like in GTA 5, there's a lot of like sort of conspiracy and the FBI hiring you to do a thing and all these things, right?
You all remember
Even
Tenpenny
in
from
GTA 4,
Reverse?
GTA 4, huge amounts.
Nico's love interest is undercover cop. No,
Yeah, exactly. And
Well,
so
there's-
I think there could definitely be an element of it. I agree that it would feel so harsh for it. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a twist halfway through where it's not, you can't play as both of them anymore. Jason is back with the cops and now he's the main antagonist of the game. Like, I think that would be wild. But
Yeah.
could it happen? I don't
I
know.
would kind of
You
like
just
that.
blown my
If
mind.
that's if
You've
that's a
just
bigger
blown my
twist,
mind.
that would actually be kind of
Holy.
sick.
What
Man,
if
that would be crazy.
What if it's a decision that you can make? Like, is Jason going to go back with the cops or not? And which side of that do you take? Who knows? Who knows how that works out?
And then the whole
be
game
really
just
interesting.
flips on its head and you become a cop and you're now patrolling the streets instead of shooting them. Oh my God, Matt, you could have just made the game of the year.
I mean, it was already game of the
We
year,
we will see. We will see. I think you're right though. There is something in GTA where and I think they did this with GTA 5 where they gave you Trevor and it was like, if you really want to feel like this thing is real, but you still want to go blow shit up, you've got Trevor. You've got this guy who's mental, who you can just take over as, and you can shut your brain off, and you can blow up everything, kill everybody, and da-da-da. Because it never felt quite right that Franklin and Michael would be those sorts of people. And I think you might struggle with that in this game. It feels like a much more grounded game. Feels much more real, maybe, is what they're going for. This idea of like a relationship, a romantic relationship being the core of it, makes things difficult, I think, to be like really, really crazy. GTA crazy.
I don't think anybody's ever had a problem with being GTA crazy before.
No, but I
Remember,
think
we
it
got
depends on the
we're
type
older.
of story you're trying to
True,
tell.
you know what? That is a
Yeah.
very good point. We are older. We don't
We
need
look
the
at things. We look at things from a very different lens now
Yeah,
compared to
yeah,
what we
yeah,
would have
yeah.
done 10, 15 years ago. Like
So,
Yeah.
Not
we
wrong.
look at things. We look at these characters. Like remember when we used to play GTA? We weren't playing it for the story, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
we're
Yeah.
fucking,
We were trying to unlock the hot coffee mod.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now,
So,
we're
yeah.
here. We think about these things a lot more because we're older. But other people are not going to think about that.
But that's
They don't
why
care if they're Jason, Lucia. They're going to run around shooting, beating up, doing whatever they got to do,
I will say, into Matt's suggestion of, is there this plot twist where he's a good guy? Really, I don't like it. I don't like the taking away the agency from the player. I think let the player play that character, and then
I think you would get a Last of Us Part 2 level.
Oh, that game I
split in the
didn't finish
audience.
because of that one big scene that happened near the beginning.
Is that taking away agency from the player?
I mean, if they want to play
Yes.
a couple, if they come into this game wanting a Bonnie and Clyde heist story, and then halfway through it goes, actually, no, what if
There's-
he's the cop?
There's
like-
something we can talk about it's a big spoiler, so I'm not going to talk about
Okay.
it. But it contradicts what you're saying really big because I think you like that part of what I'm thinking of.
We'll talk about it off.
What are you thinking of? I need to know what game. Just say the game.
I can't. No, it's a big. I can't even say the game. I can't say the game.
Interesting.
Why?
I don't know what you're talking
You've
about either.
played it, Fix.
So just say the game. I'm not asking you to say what the spoiler is.
Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Like they literally do just that. If it's done
Uh-huh.
right, I don't think it is. I don't think it takes away
Okay.
agency.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
agree.
But it
honest.
has to be done right. I agree. It has to be done right. If it's done
Yeah.
poorly, I fully agree with you.
I don't think it's
So-
done right in Final Fantasy VII. So
Two things that play into this that are rumored. One is that there would be some sort of relationship level or bar, and if it fell so low that they could split up for whatever reason, right? Like you betray each other enough, or you don't go and help if Lucy is robbing a store or something like that, where you degrade your relationship enough organically through the game that organically they split up as a couple partway through the game.
You know what?
I don't hate that.
Matt, you've just opened my mind to so many things. It's gonna be hella weird to be Jason going to the strip club to go get a lap dance, isn't it? Like
Unless Lucia's into it,
Unless he takes Lucia with him.
which they could do.
Well, maybe,
You know, maybe they're open.
yeah,
maybe it's an
that's
open
fair,
relationship.
that's fair.
You know, she's been
No,
locked
that's fair,
away.
but yeah, but
Maybe she get permission.
It is though, isn't it? Thinking about
It's a
it,
different. It's a really different mechanic. Yeah.
We've always played as like these, men that are, and that's the target audience for GTA. I'm not saying there's not women that don't play GTA. Please do not come for me. I understand that, but like,
Cancel him.
I would assume please don't. But yeah, Yeah, interesting.
And like,
Very
how
interesting.
interesting this idea of like having a relationship you need to maintain. If like Lucia, if you posted a video or a photo of the strip club to your social media, and Lucia got pissed at you, and it like locked Lucia off being a playable for a bit or whatever.
Ah, Jesus, we're getting too far, bro. No, stop it.
I agree. It's mental.
Stop
There's
it,
also a
stop it.
thing that people have speculated online that the scene in the trailer where Jason goes to pick up Lucia from the police station or from the jail. Sorry.
Yeah.
The prison, yeah.
A lot of people assuming that's the start of the game. That's kind of what you were saying, Despawn, of like
Mhm.
you think it starts with her coming out of jail. Some people have speculated online that if you get caught by the cops, that is just the thing you need to do. If you're out as Lucia robbing a store, you get busted by the cops. She is now in jail. You take back over as Jason, and for a set amount of time, Lucia is not accessible, or she is, and you play mini games in jail. And there's maybe an aspect to an economy in jail, or NPCs that you can only see if you go to jail and get
Which
missions.
does that in
from.
RP?
What does that
about-
sound like? What
Exactly.
does that sound like?
Red
And
Dead.
so-
Sounds
That's
like all the
Matt's
things I do in
headcanon.
roleplay.
That's Matt's
Just-
headcanon right now.
I'm
The
just
reason
saying.
the reason that has gained some traction online is that the line that he shares with the correctional officer is, "Hey, haven't I seen you around here before?" And so that maybe it's this common thing of Lucia or Jason going to jail and you having to go pick them up, and that
Or-
relationship somehow evolves with that person.
Or Jason's an undercover cop and he's been there sending someone to jail.
Absolutely,
before.
absolutely. That is another thing of hey, have I not seen you around here before? Yeah, he knows him from a police station or whatever,
Yeah,
from
from-
work.
Yeah, I know that guy from
so
work. Yeah.
I could imagine something like that. Again, is it taking agency away from the player to say, well, Lucia's not accessible now for 3 hours while she serves out her jail time? Or what does that look like? How does that work?
Just like RP, right? Like the way the time works is we call it months, right? So one what is the actual
It's
time?
1
I think
minute.
it's like
to a month.
it's 1 minute is a month, right? Like so you'll get like 300 months. So the way I don't know how they'll figure that out time wise in the game because that's a weird thing, right?
In-game
But
clock.
I don't think you need it's a video game at that point, right? Like you could just like the CR is away for
15 minutes.
X amount of time,
Yeah.
or you can go there and 15 minutes, or you can go there and bail her out for £10,000.
Sure. We've also seen in that
Dollars.
trailer Lucia doing community service, right? Like picking up trash on the side of the road in a high vis jacket. And so whether there are elements of that as well, like the crime isn't so severe that you need to go to jail, but you do now need to do this mini game, which is maybe fun, maybe isn't. But again, like how much fun do you take away from the player in favor of realism? I think it's obvious that there will be some mechanic of community service in the game. Maybe it's a one-off mission, I don't know, early on. But I think you will play that section. I think you will have to do that as Lucia, like pick up trash.
Well, we've
and so how
seen-
does that function?
We've seen the cutscene of her coming home from doing it. I think
Yeah.
you mentioned it earlier about them having the advert on the TV screen for the ammo shop, and like
Yeah.
she comes in while Jason is watching TV and just collapses on the sofa with him. So like while she's all dressed in her community service gear. So yeah, I could definitely see that being part like a mission. Sure.
Mini games galore if we're making this game, am I right?
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
You want a minigame? You get a minigame. You get a min. Everyone gets a minigame.
Everyone gets a mini game. Yeah.
It will be
Yeah.
fascinating to see what happens. Any little bit of juice Rockstar are willing to pull out there, we will dissect, I guess. I really enjoyed this. Hope you
I
guys
will
did
let
too.
you know, Matt. Look, I would wait up till after the podcast usually, but you broke that down fantastically. I think you did a great job. Just want you
I'm
to
sure
know.
I missed a
Great
whole
job.
bunch of stuff that people are screaming about in the comments, but I love it. I love it.
The logo
Doesn't matter.
was great.
The question is,
Yeah, we did forget the logo. We did forget to say about the logo.
the
but
logo's
it's
the
fine.
same.
Yeah,
the logo's the same. And also, of course, this came with an announcement that pre-orders will go live next Thursday, 25th of June, and heavy speculation, perhaps just on my part, that will come accompanied with a trailer that ends with pre-orders available now. I could see it. They said they were going to ramp up marketing in summer. We're officially there. Let's let it happen, GTA. Come on, we've gone long enough without a new trailer now, please.
Sure,
Let's
just
see
to
it.
carry on really quickly, surely it's a gameplay trailer as well, right? Like,
I
are
don't
we
know,
gonna
man.
get this game with no gameplay trailer? Like, that's
That's
wild to me.
I don't think so.
GTA.
So with GTA 5, they released 3 different trailers, right? One for each character, and then released like a preview that came along with the heist trailer that kind of explained heists. So I don't know. I have no idea what that looks like. Do we get individual trailers for Jason and Lucia next week? I doubt they drop them at the same time, but maybe. Or do we get some sort of gameplay deep dive? I don't know. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. Do people get hands-on with this game before it comes out? I'm getting more and more skeptical with that every single day.
Absolutely not.
Yes, and they'll do what they did last time, which they'll fly everybody out. They'll fly all the press and extremely huge influencers, and they'll fly them all to Miami. No one will get a copy of the game, and they'll be locked in a hotel for
however many days,
a week, 5 days, whatever they decide they think they need for previews. But yeah,
that was for reviews that they've done that before. Previews that they've done in Rockstar North, they've done them all over the place.
Previews. I'm not talking about previews. I'm more talking about reviews. Sorry.
You're talking about reviews. I don't know if they do previews this time around. I think the landscape has changed. I agree. I don't think they need it. I don't necessarily think they needed it back when GTA 5 was coming out, but they did do that. They did hands-off previews. I don't think they did any hands-on previews.
I could see them doing a hands-off preview.
They basically showed press the heist, an extended version of the heist before they released the heist trailer. And so I could see something like that happening.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's what we get next week. I think if we get something next week, I think it is a very story-based, similar to what we've had so far, but maybe more in depth on Jason and Lucia's relationship somehow.
Yeah. My question.
Let's be clear also. Sorry, this one really quickly before. Hold your thought for me. Let's be clear also. This game is leaked more than any other GTA as well, though.
Sure.
Like we had the big stolen asset stuff that all got uploaded. We had even the YouTube trailer that got leaked on X.
Yep.
So I think they're probably going to want to control that. We spoke about even the physical copies. Like when do they actually get to store? Like this is going to be one of the most stolen video games of all time.
It'll still make millions.
Billions, baby.
Billions.
Yeah.
Put a B on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing I was gonna say is, what's the last media event like a Gamescom or anything before this game comes out? Is it Gamescom?
Well, Tokyo Game Show, I guess.
But no, I don't think we'll do that. No.
They don't really participate in those kinds of things. I
but
don't
what I'm
think
saying
they do it.
is-
I think they stay clear of it.
It would be a Xbox or a PlayStation doing something. I think specifically
It'll be
for GTA if
PlayStation.
they do something.
PlayStation.
It won't be Xbox.
Probably.
Yeah, no one's touching.
I'm just saying that's like the avenue if we see it is going to be a game, a console manufacturer being like, we're going to do something special for GTA.
No, but what I was saying is where are they going to do something where there's a load of press in advance? Are they going to do that? Or they're going to do it and just invite people? Okay.
It'll definitely be their own event. They can control the message more. The only thing I think you maybe see in regards to the next trailer that happens is that it's a trailer spot for Spider-Man. I think that is the kind of the biggest thing that's happening. Maybe the only other thing is the World Cup final. Maybe they have a trailer spot in the World Cup final.
Huge. World Cup final's huge.
Truly will be coming home.
Viewed television event.
Both of those things are probably a cut down version.
They do it during a water break, or do they do it?
Well, yeah, exactly. Good question.
The hydration break.
US audiences only if it's during a water break.
Hey, Crash. That's underrated from you. I hope you know that. That was a good one. That was good for you.
Yeah, so I could see it happening around one of those two events, although I do think you get a shorter version of that trailer that exists for those events, and so whether or not they release a full trailer before and then it, there's a Spider-Man New Day trailer, but it's just a cut down version, or it's with the World Cup, and it'd be interesting to see what happens. Or maybe they don't do either. Maybe they just don't care about any other media, which is very Rockstar, to be like, we just don't care about anyone else. We're just going to release these things when we want to release them, and we're just going to do it.
I mean, come on, let's be real. Like, they could just drop out a random Tuesday and it would break the internet.
100%.
Fully agree with you guys, but it's not many times you link up with a World Cup. I know a World Cup is humongous, and this is like perfect timing for this to marry up together. Well, FIFA wants money, GTA wants press. I know they don't need the press, but they want the press. They want the eyes, and it's not only that, you have the world stage on there. This isn't a Euro, so you've only got European countries watching it, or it isn't a Super Bowl where it's a mainly American audience. This is the World Cup.
Everybody.
Outside of this is the Olympics, right? But the Olympics don't get numbers like that. So
my only issue with it is like, not everything is going to show an advert. Where would you show an advert non-organically within the World Cup?
Halftime show.
don't really do
Are
halftime.
they going to do a
America are doing
halftime
the
show?
Are they doing a
halftime
half show?
Yeah,
Are they doing
America
a
For the
got a
final?
halftime show. Yeah.
The only other thing on that is 7 matches are happening in Miami. And so do you time it up with a match that's happening in Miami? And is that better than the final? Probably not
The
better.
final. Where is the not better than the final? No way.
No,
Where's
it's
the
not
final?
better than the final, but I don't know. Let's have a see if we can find
I'll be
out.
honest, I'm
You guys
not.
vamp while I do that.
Yeah, I do not think they'll bother showing up at the World Cup. While it might sound great on paper, I just don't think they need to. And again, if they're having to pay that amount of
I
money,
don't think it's a need to though, but I just think like there's no other there's no other event in the world. I understand you're not a football fan, right? But like there is no other event in the world that is bigger than the World Cup.
But yeah, I agree. But again, I don't feel like GTA need the World Cup to.
No, they don't need it.
They don't need to. It's not like that. They don't need to advertise via the World Cup because just drop it on a YouTube video on Tuesday and it's.
I'm gonna agree with Fix on this only because there is a lot of parts of the world that don't necessarily pay as much attention to gaming news, or it's much more niche in those parts of the world where they will be watching this and it will get eyes on them, and they have played a GTA, be it 3, whatever.
Yeah.
To give you the numbers real quick, yeah, the 2022 World Cup final between Argentina and France was globally watched at an estimate of 1.5 billion people.
That's only 1/8 of the population. That's nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I'm just saying, like that's you know, like that's no joke of like
it's a once in a decade event. It is
once
every 4
years.
event.
4 years. Once every 4 years, and Rockstar don't release a game once every 4 years, so it's a case of like they can marry this up almost perfectly with this sporting event.
When you're talking about an audience of that scale as well, it's rare to get as much crossover as you will have in the World Cup, right? Primarily male, you know, whatever it is, like all ages really, 10 to 65, like literally every age group. But like you are targeting kind of your exact audience, or as close as you're going to get to on an event of that scale.
FIFA, GTA, Madden, NBA, like, but GTA is in
COD,
that conversation with the COD. Thank you, you're right, COD.
Yeah,
but those are the games that get marketed on these type of levels, like, and that audience. You're right, Matt, 100%.
And it's worth mentioning, you asked the question, Kresh will be there to see it live because the World Cup final takes place July 19th in New Jersey.
It's in New Jersey?
We were discussing this before the podcast. The New York games are actually happening in New Jersey.
They use the New Jersey Stadium for it,
So it is essentially New York, but, you know, it's in New Jersey. So Kresh will be there on the ground reporting live for us from the halftime show where Strauss
I've been able to enter raffles for these games. Ask me how many raffles I've entered.
Yeah, but we got you the MXAM credential, so you're fine.
Oh,
your
cool.
press pass.
Yeah, I'll definitely go.
Definitely. Each side.
Another point against you, Despawn, in not going after the World Cup. Strauss Zelnick was impromptu interviewed on the street by a guy who's built his channel and walking up to millionaires saying, "How did you make your money?" And it's supposed to be this organic thing. He got Strauss Zelnick in what didn't feel like an organic impromptu interview.
Oh, they never are. They're not.
Exactly. Of course they're not. But they did that to reiterate to an audience that isn't us, that isn't, you know, super gaming focused culture. It was the, you know, hustle crowd. It was the, you know, Gary V crowd. They wanted to get the release date to those people, and they decided that was a viable option. That guy with that channel, and he's huge, right? But like 2 million subscribers,
millions.
2 million subscribers on YouTube, let alone every other platform. And they've gone to him for the CEO of Take-Two to reiterate the date of GTA. So I think there is that scope for GTA to go, no, what are the things outside of traditional gaming media that we're going to target? Because we're not traditional gaming. We are so far beyond traditional gaming media that we need to think outside the box here. And I think the World Cup is the biggest opportunity for that.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Well, that was fun.
our that was our GTA Watch segment of the podcast. Honestly, we haven't got long left to do the podcast this
Sorry.
week, so we're gonna get through what we can. No. I think that was a fantastic conversation. We'll skip what's been in our box. We'll do that next week. But we do have some Xbox news that we need to get to.
Yes, we do.
Which is we did speak about it already. In case you missed our video, if you're listening to this only on podcast form, head over to the official MXAM official YouTube channel. Microsoft have reportedly negotiating clauses for multiple studios, being Double Fine, Compulsion, and Hellblade, as they're getting ready to either fire them or sell them off. We've kind of already spoke about this in the video, Matt, but so I'll start with you, then we'll go for our thoughts again after that's marinated a little bit longer now. How did you feel when you first heard this news about these Xbox studios?
Heartbroken, and kind of shocked. The thing that keeps coming up is, well, why announce a new Hellblade game, which they specifically didn't call Hellblade, which is now even more interesting. Why announce a new Senua game from Ninja Theory, and then a week later kind of come out publicly and be like, oh yeah, the studio's done, unless we can find an investor or, somebody to buy them, or they can buy themselves out, or whatever it is. So it's wild that this is happening. I get it, in the sense that, Jason Schreier put out a brilliant video, kind of breaking down the history of Xbox's strategy since Phil Spencer took over to now, and how that's evolved and changed. And when Phil Spencer took over, it was very much, we need people to come to Game Pass. The way we're going to do that is by providing high quality, even if they don't sell well, things that people can try, people can play, different experiences, things that are critically acclaimed. And now the strategy is not that. The strategy is sell Xboxes, sell games, sell. And if you're not doing that, you're out. And so it's brutal. It's heartbreaking. Double Fine are a phenomenal studio, regardless of what you think of Killed or whatever else, right? Was it Broken Age? Broken Age and Psychonauts. Both fantastic. Yeah, just fantastic and unique and amazing. But they're never going to sell Call of Duty numbers, and I think that's all that Xbox care about now, is selling Call of Duty numbers. And I think, honestly, lowering their headcount. I think a cost to the business that a lot of people forget about is having full-time employees means healthcare and pensions and things that cost companies a hell of a lot of money. And they're looking at the spreadsheet and going, why are we keeping these people on the books when they're barely breaking even? They're actually costing us money. Even if they are breaking even, they're costing us money in the long run. And I think they're done with it. And so they see more benefit in letting them go off on their own. And then, yeah, you can have your next Hellblade game on Xbox. Of course you can. We'll take our cut and you get your bit. And we don't have to worry about your healthcare or pensions.
What about the other studios? Obviously Compulsion, South of Midnight, and then why am I blanking?
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory, Compulsion. Yeah, Ninja Theory I think is the weirdest one, because I think they have so much utility outside of just making Senua, and it's part of what has been speculated on, is that they're, part of their value is in their technology, and in their motion capture technology and that kind of thing. Compulsion,
which is owned by Xbox. Which is now owned by Xbox. So this is what I keep seeing this online. Sorry to interject, but I keep seeing this online. Oh yeah, they're gonna be fine. I'm seeing people say they're gonna be fine. I'm like, how? They don't own their IPs and they don't own their tech anymore. They're not gonna be fine.
The rumor is, and how much credit you want to put into it, is that the reason Senua got showed at the Xbox conference was so that they could shop it out, and they are going to be shopping it out with the technology, but also some talk about Xbox being the one that wants to shop it out, whereas Ninja Theory wants to sort of go to investors themselves, and so the value of what they want would be different, and so there's a whole lot that I'm sure at some point there'll be a documentary or an article that breaks that all down.
Oh, there's going to be a no clip in 2 years,
Yeah, for sure. Compulsion's a heartbreaking one for me, right? I mentioned this to Emma, and she was like, "Oh my god!" She loved South of Midnight. She loved it, and it felt like they were on to a franchise that really had legs with it. It obviously wasn't a perfect game. Do you not think? I think art style, characters, story, mythos, world.
they were
No,
in a direction that they've been going in artistically for a really cool next game. But I think we also said that after We Happy Few.
Sure. Sure.
I will openly admit, like, you could go back and listen to old episodes of this podcast, and I was hot on Compulsion. I watched their documentary that came out, and I remember being like, they're about to make the next best thing ever. And like I say, South Midnight came out. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, unique, told a story that's very important to people that don't get their stories told. But the problem is, in all of what I just said, they didn't make a game that people would buy. And that's what I've been thinking about this so much lately. And I'm like, would I have bought South of Midnight? No. Would I have bought Kiln? No. Would I have bought Psychonauts? No. Would I have bought Hellblade 2? No. I didn't play Hellblade 1
Well,
until
Hellblade
it came to
2,
Game Pass.
Hellblade 2 had some metrics of success with Hellblade 1.
No,
Not
I'm
to that
saying
crazy
me. I
degree.
can't talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
other
no,
people.
yeah,
I'm
fair.
talking about me. Like, I'm talking about just like, and I am been Xbox podcasting for 10 plus years. I would not have spent my hard-earned money on any of those games. So I'm also part of the problem of why these studios are not being successful.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's the
So
thing, right?
yeah,
Whatever your feelings and thoughts on like these studios surviving or dying and all that kind of stuff, like on purely business sense, it makes sense.
for them to go.
It does.
And
It does,
yeah.
but it's
But
also
but it's so hard
it's
to say that.
backwards.
Yeah, it's so hard to say that
Because-
on a purely like not having your heart in it kind of thing. Like on a human level,
But-
it's hard to say, oh, these people on
It's-
paper should lose all their jobs.
it's also a weird thing to say because it's like Xbox are the ones who told them make what you want. We're
Mhm.
valuing Game Pass and creativity over anything, to then shift to sales out of nowhere and then them get punished for it.
Crash, the thing that's going to be the scariest thing is, how do you tell an audience that you have catered to for the last, let's say the last generation at least, been longer than that, but for the last generation, we now don't want you to only care about Game Pass, we want you to buy things again.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Conversation is already, I'll wait for it to come to Game Pass.
It's why when you look at the statement Asha made about flexibility in Game Pass, that is looking like a more scary conversation than it was before this. And as this comes out of, and I already felt like they had the chance with that to like sort of nickel and dime you and how they do it. But now it's like, oh, you want first party games? Well, base Game Pass is $10 a month, and then first party games is another $15 to $20 a month or whatever. However, like they will find a way to make the math work for them, and that is not beneficial. I don't think. Let me say I don't think, because we don't know how the numbers will look. I don't think it'll end
Sure.
up being beneficial to the player.
Well, not only that, they're taking away content. They're not
Yeah.
investing more in first party content. They're getting rid of more content. That's the part that scares me the most. I'm like, hold up, you want me to invest in this platform, which is now, I think, what is it, $14.99 a month again, in the UK. But you're now not. I'm sitting there going, okay, so when are the games coming? Because
That's
don't
the
get me wrong,
problem, right?
third party stuff is great, but that's not why I invest in Xbox. I invest in Xbox like the way I invest in Nintendo, the same way I invest in PlayStation, for their first party. My PC can play everything third party before most devices usually. Like, you know, with early access games on Steam and things like that. So, like, your first party is where you live and die, and Game Pass, through Xbox's fault of their own, is the way they decided to distribute it to us. And now the conversation feels like it's, oh, you know, we'd love it if Gears of War. I'm telling you, Chris, and I said this on the little video we did on MXAM. I think, and I'm not being hyperbolic, I think this is the last Gears of War that we see.
Yeah,
I think this
That'd
is
be
it.
brutal.
I'm with you
That'd
with
be
on
brutal.
that, because I think
I don't think it's gonna sell.
Yeah,
the move to make it exclusive is gonna bite that in the ass. I feel like I think it's gonna end up being a bad move for it because it's not gonna sell. And as much as I love Gears of War, and we can talk about how much we love Gears of War, Gears of War is not the powerhouse that Halo was, and it never was.
No.
And it's always been a thing of like, as long as I've been a Gears of War fan, I really wish Gears of War was bigger. Outside of Gears 1 was when it was like, oh, this is the next big thing. And since then it's
Absolutely.
been either like a tapering out of like leveling out or a slow decline. I think you've seen with I keep wanting to say GTA, Gears of War 4 and 5. It's been a slight, I don't want to say like a big
Don't
decline,
forget
but it's
Judgment.
not as, it doesn't move the industry that they used to do back in the 360 era. And that's partly because of like Xbox isn't like the powerhouse it used to be, but it's also on PC, so it should have more moving power, and it just doesn't. And so it's this really weird situation of like, I feel like they're killing that game. I feel bad for the possibility of Clockwork Revolution. If that doesn't do
Oh.
good, what does that say for In Exile after that, right? There's
Did you to go back to Gears for just a second? Did anyone see the clip of Tim the Tap Man talking about Gears?
No.
no.
So again, if you don't know who Tim the Tap Man is, huge streamer. You know, again, streamers do not speak for the entire generation, entire audience, and things like that. But I do think sometimes you can, if their audience, they have tens of thousands of people who watch them live, right? His audience were clowning him for saying he liked the look of the new Gears. Like that's where we're at. Like they were like
The target audience is
Gears,
clowning
like,
him,
like,
yeah.
like that's they're like, what? What do you mean you like the look of this? Like, and don't get me wrong, he plays a lot of Overwatch and a lot of different, like maybe that's not the audience, right? Every content creator has their own audience.
Mhm.
But for me, I'm like, you mean this new AAA game that's 400 million in the rumors? Yeah, that doesn't bode well when one of the biggest content creators in the world is talking about Gears in a positive light, by the way, and his audience are like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, that's
Like,
bad.
Yeah.
so yeah. Ah. Go on, Matt.
Well, no, I think you touched on something really interesting before we started chatting about Gears, which was that, where are the games coming now to Game Pass? And it makes sense why they were able to drop the price of Game Pass now. Because you go,
Kicks me
well,
getting fucked.
we're going to put nothing on it for the next 5-6 years. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, other than
Mm.
Gears and Fable,
And Halo.
what's coming to Game
State of
Pass?
Decay.
After the next 12 months, what's coming to Game Pass? We would have said, oh, well, I'm excited for whatever Compulsion do next. Double Fine,
Well-
they can spin up a game nice and quick, and I'm sure they were working on something alongside Kill, and we'd expect something from them relatively soon.
Well, Cypher
Friggin'
Ghost 3,
Hellblade.
you would
Well,
imagine, right?
Also, they came out and said we want the big IPs we have to be producing games faster. You want Halos faster. You want Gears of War faster. You want whatever it is faster, which I don't think bodes well for those franchises. We talked about it a little bit in the video of like,
Does if you like AI.
It does if you
Yeah.
like crunch culture.
Well, I just don't I
Well-
don't see how you get, other than partnering with third parties who then want to work on a Gears Tactics 2, a Halo Tactics,
Yeah.
Well,
a Fable. What the problem is with Fable, by the way, let's just be very clear. We've tried this with Fable before, and it almost killed the franchise. We've
Yeah.
had Connect Fable games. We had Fable Legends that never made it to market. There's been other Fable games that weren't good. So and the same thing we've seen Gears. Obviously, Gears tried Judgment. We all don't like Judgment. Gears Pop, again, obviously not to the same scale. I'm not saying that, but we've had Tactics. If we're being honest.
yeah.
Tactics is
We
a great
all
game.
like Tactics.
I love Tactics.
Did
Yeah,
not
yeah.
do the numbers it needed to. If you look at Halo, and this happened relatively close to when Halo was as big as it, like the biggest that it was. Halo Wars didn't move the needle that game should have.
Got a sequel.
Mhm.
Got a sequel.
It did get a
Yep.
sequel for sure, but that was also, that sequel comes when Xbox is like in this new generation. They want to recapture like similar to what they're doing now. So you might be able to get another Halo Wars, another Gears Tactic, or whatever the case is. But like that, well, if people don't support it, is finite. It's not going to go forever. And so you do have like, it's hard to look to the future of Xbox. And I don't know if any of you guys follow Gene Park on Twitter. He's a games journalist, and he
Mhm.
talked about a conversation he had with Phil Spencer. And he was like, one of the things Phil Spencer said, and it was a complaint, was like, Xbox can't be run like an entertainment industry, similar to how PlayStation and Nintendo run it. And so it's hard not to be all doom and gloom about the future of Xbox at some point, because it's not viewed as an entertainment industry, so it's not viewed in the capacity that we're used to with games for the most part.
What
Well, Matt-
if they'd come out of that showcase and they'd gone, as well as E-Day, we're working on another Gears of War game, and it's from Ninja Theory, and it's like a tight, over-the-shoulder horror, or maybe first-person horror with their graphics, and they'd force this studio into going, no, fuck you, Senua. It never makes any money. You have to make a Gears thing, and it has to be this. Would we have been okay with that? Would we have been applauding that decision?
Yeah.
Or would we have been like, oh man, it's a real shame that creative studio can't make their creative thing anymore, and they're being forced into this franchise that maybe they want to do, maybe they don't.
That game would have been
Matt?
cool.
You want the truth, Matt? We would have sat on this podcast and we would have bitched. We would have Despawn would have been the first one being like, Xbox are wrong. They're making them make something they don't want. Yada 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 yada.
We are adding a part to the narrative. We are adding a part to the narrative that probably would have never been in the conversation of they're being forced to do this. That is like a bit where like adding on them being forced to do this.
Yeah,
right?
but with us saying like they need third party, well, they don't. We're not saying they need, right? But there's an option to have third parties make games within franchises that people like or that are popular, and maybe that would work. Spin-off games, like you've got the opportunity to do it here, right? You have the opportunity with Compulsion, with Ninja Theory, to let them do stuff.
Matt, what did you just say? Matt, you said it already.
They may or may not work.
Taxes.
They don't.
Health benefits.
Yeah.
When you give someone the license and go, hey, you in, let's say, France, where you get a tax break for working on a game, you can work on this because it's not really costing us too much money, and we can partner. That makes way more sense than in-house where we've got a studio, we've got to fill the fridges with Fanta.
I'd also imagine like some of the best success that Xbox has seen with Game Pass isn't even from their first-party games. It is with the third-party games they partner with, and if you look at a lot of their biggest games, well, I don't want to say the biggest games, but if you look at like Atlus's games, those are games that typically won't sell on Xbox just because the market isn't there for Xbox. And then if you look at like Clair Obscur, the publisher for Clair Obscur, I think they have a partnership with Xbox, or they work really well because almost every single game they publish comes to Xbox. It's like they build those relationships, and it's easier for them because they don't bear the brunt of the cost, but they're like, yeah, we'll cover for whatever we think. We'll give you a number. There's a long-term issue with that as well, of like, if Game Pass gets bigger, that number has to grow because they're losing more potential players as well. And that at some point, I'm like, there's no world where I don't see that collapsing in one of two ways: of you start getting less games, or you start getting Game Pass being more expensive again. And like, it's any way you look at it, with the way Xbox is seemingly ran, it's a dead end that doesn't lead well for Xbox players, I feel like.
It's funny, right? When you said that, then my instinct, you said if Xbox Game Pass grows, and my instinct was like, there's no way Game Pass is going to grow, right?
Yes.
Like, yeah, I know, but like, why would it grow now?
Where? You said it already has? Is that what you said?
Well, yeah, but technically it's grown from the dip that it had.
If my bank account has minus 100 and then I get it back to 0, did it grow?
Technically, yeah, because you're not at minus 100
technically,
anymore.
yeah, but do you know who put yourself in minus 100? Me, the idiot.
Yeah,
first of all, that's all that happened with Game Pass. They made a boo boo. They lost million subscribers, and then they saw growth again. Let's not be fooled
that growth
by this
also
marketing machine. There was no growth. It was they regained again what they lost.
And I don't think they. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think they've matched what they would have lost. It's so hard to regain subscribers on services like that. Because people are gonna realize, I don't really use Game Pass. I'm not really playing online games. I don't need that functionality of it. Or they went to one of those smaller subscriptions that does only give them the online access, or whatever the case is. So yeah, they didn't. They definitely sold it very, very well. Of we regained.
The marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? Xbox having their marketing on point for a change.
Well,
no, it's on point.
I'm joking.
They're good with smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. I'm being facetious. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, yeah, it's a weird place, man. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I'll be honest. The state of the industry as a whole. I'm just like, do you know what? It was nice to turn my brain off for an hour and a bit there talking about GTA.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Because it's a game. No, but it's a game that I'm excited for. That we all assume is going to hit well, and it's like, and then I'm looking at Gears is one of my favorite franchises of all time. And I am literally looking at it, and I just saw the new. Did you guys see the new demo that came out of like the destructibility and stuff like
Yes, the
No,
Unreal
no,
Engine
that?
demo.
Yeah. The Unreal Engine, thank you. Yeah, looks really good. Crash, you should watch it if you haven't seen it. But I'm just watching it there. I'm just going, and they put all this tech into something that's not going to be here in 3 years.
Yeah.
Because why should I believe them on anything else now? You know, like I have no reason to believe Xbox again. And like I said, I don't know why they didn't put this news out before the showcase. You put this news out, then the sensuous stuff aside, because again, using that demo to try and sell it is just gross and disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm being totally honest, I just
Yeah.
don't like that. You don't need to do that either. You can take that demo with you to wherever you're selling
Internally or
said
whatever,
product. Yeah.
I've seen some people defend of like, oh well, Ninja Theory would have said yes to it, or they were in agreement with it. And if it's like, of course, if their options are get closed
Yeah,
or
get
show
closed
the
or get
demo to
sold,
potentially
yeah.
sell, like that doesn't remove like the grossness from it, right?
Absolutely
The
not.
thing that the public showing that publicly does help with is vested interest, right? So you can say, look at all these places that reported on it. They got this amount of clicks. It got this amount
Yeah.
of wish lists or
No,
whatever it was. So there is like a monetary value to that if you are going to go out and try and sell something. This is
That's-
going, look at how cool this demo looks.
That's
internally,
why it's
and we're not gonna-
gross.
That's
Oh,
why
The
for
it's
reason
sure,
it
for
was
sure.
shown was like a monetary thing. It's not like
Yeah.
we believe in
A
this or we
business
want
thing.
to help the yeah.
We knew they didn't
capitalism
believe
thing.
in it. Anybody who watched that showcase knew that Xbox didn't believe in that. We all were like, that is a weird
It felt
placement
weird, yeah.
for a game like that. Don't care what anybody says. No
And
way.
early, right? Like it felt
Jose.
early. It felt, yeah.
Just
That's shoehorned in the
Just
middle of a
it's
bunch
just
of
not right.
stuff. Yeah.
Just not right. Not right. All right, we won't do the rest of the stories this week. Let's get into Guess That Game. I want to try and get us out of here relatively soonish. Guess That Game is the game show within the podcast where I am going to pick a game. The boys have 1 minute and 30 seconds to say, ask me yes or no questions. I will ask them the best of my ability via Wikipedia. Crash, Crash can't see. Despawn, what are the current points?
The current points are, I'll just scroll down to them. The current points are Crash, the blind man, is on 15 points. Matt, the unseen one, never around, is on 5 points. Me, here every week, 11 points. And Fixer, here since from the beginning, also 11 points. And I guessed, Reese has spoken, 0. Sorry out, Matt.
What a loser.
I know,
What
right?
a loser, that Reese guy. Right at the bottom of the leaderboard. Ugh.
Matt.
You're setting yourself up for
Matt,
failure
you're a
there, Matt.
joker.
I also
All
haven't
right.
actually spoken to Reese yet. That's how little I am on the podcast. That's terrible, isn't it? And I'm already taking the piss. Apologies,
Yeah,
Reese.
Well, no. To be fair, Matt, Reese was kind of brought in to not to replace you before the audience. Did you see the comment about that people thinking you were gone? Did you see that?
Oh, really? No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
How you got a comment like, "Oh, I like Reese. Is he replacing Matt?" I'm like, "No, Matt's not gone. Matt's not gone." But yeah, when you're not here, Reese is you, pretty much. You know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it is. All right, here we go.
New Matt.
Minute and 30 seconds. We'll start with Crash. We'll go to Matt. We'll go to Despawn. Ready, steady, go.
360 game.
Yes,
Cool.
Yes.
Multiplayer?
yes,
First party title?
no,
First person game.
no,
Third person game?
no,
Platformer?
no,
God game.
no,
Sports game?
no,
Activision?
yes.
I'm
Top
lost.
down game.
Sorry,
Top down
Top down.
game.
kinda, I guess.
What in the world is this
no,
game?
no, not really. No, not really. No.
Is it primarily a multiplayer game? That was a stupid
No.
question.
Well, no, I wouldn't say so.
Is it a franchise? Like, have they done multiple titles in it? Okay.
Yes, Despawn. No, no, you've got it.
I haven't, but
Is
we're
it-
getting closer.
A racing game.
No.
Not first person. Not third person.
This is insane.
not
Did you
top
customize a character in this
down
game?
I believe you can, but yeah.
Is there shooting in the game?
No,
Maybe you should go. This is not where. No.
Is it a fantasy game?
no.
Never ask him that. He doesn't know what fantasy is.
Oh, I
It's
don't
not a fantasy
know.
game. I promise you, it's not a fantasy game.
That's a good question. That was a dumb question for me.
The
No, I
camera,
have nothing.
that's time. That's time. The camera perspective, you're gonna have a go at me for. I feel like, but I don't think it's made much of a difference. But you can all have one question each.
Is
I'm gonna go to you first.
Activision
Okay.
franchise.
That question.
Okay, I've got a guess, but it's brutal. If this is the answer, I'm fuming.
Oh,
Mm,
interesting.
I don't even know if it's Activision. That's the problem. Hold on.
Did we ask?
I'm going for it. I'm going for it for the lols.
okay, he's going for it for the lols. Make a note of that.
Okay.
Do we want to ask any more questions, or do we want to go for
Do you
it?
play as a
I
human
guess it
in the
is
game?
I guess it is first person. Yes, you do play as well. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you play as a human. Yeah.
That's definitely not what I was going to say then.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it's first person?
Yeah.
You guess. There's
Yeah, I
no
guess so.
guessing around. It's either first person or it's not. Like
Just ask your questions. We're gonna make the guess, and we're not gonna get fixed the point at the end
That's
of this.
fine.
It's
Fine.
Fine. That's fine. I don't
fuming.
mind
Yeah.
that for this one.
I'm
I
not
don't
asking.
mind
Any,
that for this one. I
yeah.
think you'll understand why I'm where I'm at. But
Okay, well we'll find
yeah.
out because I've got a guess, but I don't think it's right because again you've completely
You got a
confused
question?
me.
You want a question?
I don't have, because I don't think it's going to help.
Okay.
I've got a guess, but again I don't think it's right.
Go on then.
I think my mind automatically just because you're saying it's Activision, but not. No, it's not even that. I don't know. I'm just saying Sekiro, and I don't think it is Sekiro.
No.
Third person.
Yeah, but I don't think you know what third person is at this point.
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's gonna
That's
be some sort of
disrespectful.
roller coaster game of where you're on rails. I am right. That is a first person game. I just want you to know that.
It's not that, but you're on the right. You're on the right. You're on the right. On the right.
Oh,
you're on
the
right way.
dragon games. What are the dragon? No, it's not that. It's not that.
It's not that.
I
Just
have
get
no
your
clue.
guess. Just
I
get
don't
your
got a
guess.
guess. I have no guess. I'm-
Okay. Well, do you want to guess an Activision game?
I was going to say a Transformers movie tie-in game that came out on the
Call-
360.
Call of Duty 2. It's not Call of Duty 2.
No. Okay.
Go on,
the game
Fex.
was Guitar Hero. Now, you tell me what POV that is. I don't know. I guess it's first person. I guess. But it's you didn't guess genres, so you're all gonna be angry at me. And I understand that I was kind of confusing, but you can also understand it. I knew it weren't third person, but like, is that a first person game? Because I wouldn't call it a first person game.
Yeah, you're right. It's none of the above, isn't it? Like, because it's not
I
third
wasn't-
person. It's
I
not
wasn't-
first
I didn't
person.
miss. It's my. I don't think
Yeah.
I'm that in the wrong there.
It's upsetting. It's
I
upsetting,
thought
but I
Diesel
don't
had
think.
it instantly. As soon as he said Activision, I was like, oh, my boy's got this
No, I
in
just
the
went-
bag.
I was just trying to pick out some huge publishers or developers. No.
Crash is screwing up his face. What was I meant to say for a perspective, Crash?
Call it a god game.
Well,
Really?
No, I don't know what I'd call it for perspective. That's a tough one.
it's a disgusting choice to make. It's a slime
Oh,
ball
100%.
move. It's
100%.
It's one of the biggest video game properties ever.
Yeah, I don't think it's a slime ball move. I just think, yeah, it's a hard
No,
one to
no,
guess.
it's a filthy move. It's a filthy move.
It's a hard one
Yeah,
to guess,
we were never
but that was
getting
pretty
there.
good.
That's why it's
That was a good
filthy.
point, right?
That's why it's a
Good
filthy
point for
move.
me, yeah? We
What's
all
your
agree. Good
trivia?
point.
Yeah, you said
I do have-
character customization.
Yeah, I don't think there
There
is
is
character. No, I think you just
There is.
There
There is.
definitely
select
there definitely is.
characters.
There,
Select a character.
there definitely is in some of them, if I'm not
Yeah, there
mistaken,
is.
and
There is.
Rock Band 100%.
yeah, but it's not rock.
Yeah, but it
Guitar
ain't
Hero
Rock
is not
Band.
Rock Band. It's a completely different.
I'm not okay.
game.
Okay. I'm pretty sure there is,
You
but I could be
select
wrong. Band Hero
character.
as well.
Look,
Is that what? That's the thing that threw you off? You ain't shut up, Matt. Do you know what? Just shut up a sec. That's the thing that threw you off. You want to come at me for create a character? That's what you want to try and go back at for me? No way. No way.
Wait,
I'm
what do
not
you mean no
having it.
way?
I'm not having it.
It's the bundle of everything you did. Come on, what do you mean? No way.
I think
You didn't
it's
even.
the
You weren't even
closest.
close.
It's the closest we've come to. Like, he didn't technically break any rules, but he's a scumbag, and we all
Also-
know it.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, also, there is create a character in Guitar Hero Wiltar.
Which one did you pick, Fix?
Yes.
You keep not telling us. Which Guitar
It
Hero
felt like
was it?
three.
If you would,
It felt like three.
if you would
Which
have got,
Guitar
if you
Hero
would have
is it?
got,
It's not World Tour. It's not
was Guitar
fucking
Hero
World
1.
Tour.
It was Guitar
Okay,
Hero 1.
Guitar
It was
Hero 1
Guitar
did
Hero
not
1.
have character
It
customization.
actually, to be honest with you, it just says Guitar Hero. I think it's all of the franchises. Because it's got all the different devs that have worked on all of the franchises. So
Get in the
that's-
comments. Get in the comments, guys.
It's the Wikipedia, bro.
That's
What do you want from
you
me?
pick a game. Fix
pick a
you
game, not
pick
the
a game,
franchise.
not a franchise.
Sure. Trivia. Here we go. The 50-50 one here for you all. I went to the boot sale the other day,
Yeah.
and I bought a Guitar Hero guitar.
Of course you did.
How much did I pay to
Oh,
the nearest pound?
I thought you were going to say,
That's not-
does it work? Yes
That's
or
not 50-50
no?
also.
I was gonna say also.
50-50, I changed
That's
it
not
midway through.
50-50.
Don't question me, don't
Offer it,
question
but I
me.
wanna not
Don't
get
question
fixed
me, I
this
changed
point
it
now.
midway through. Changed it midway through. I changed it midway through. All right.
Scumbag move.
Nearest
Guitar
pound.
Hero
How much did I
guitar.
pay for the guitar?
Did it come with a dongle?
Didn't need a dongle. It was the Wii version.
Oh, where you put the Wii controller in. Okay.
Disgusting.
That's the one. Yes.
Well, it probably works then, actually, because it just works off the Wiimote. I'm going to go £5. Now, do I think that's too much? Yes. But do I think that's what you paid? Yes.
Do you think that's too much?
£5. I said what I
No,
said,
they're
and I meant what I
so
said.
rare to find. They probably sell pretty well.
But does people at Kaboo sale know that?
That's a good question.
not
Fix has gotten
rare.
some. He stole.
good deals.
He's literally robbed people.
He's robbed grannies left, right, and
Sale.
centre.
Fun fact, got a comment on my last video of getting shouted at for buying a bunch of PlayStation 4 games from a woman because I didn't give her more money for her son's holiday. And I paid a pound each after negotiating with her. She started, there was a person in my comment shouting at me. So, yeah.
That's not how
That's
car
not how
boots
this
work.
works.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're not there to defend
Also,
them at the
Crash,
Kaboo.
you say they're hard to get. They're gonna go for more. Who's buying it? Like when you imagine in your mind somebody going to eBay and going, "I need a Wii Guitar Hero guitar." Who is that person that has a working Wii,
privilege.
a
love Matt's
copy
privilege.
of
I love
Guitar
it.
Hero, and the want to do all those things?
People like going down nostalgia trips, and if you want to go and play Guitar Hero, and you're like, I have my Wii controller, I have the copy that I played when I was a kid. All I need is the fucking guitar. Do you know how hard it is to come by that guitar in shitty conditions? I know this because we have DJ Hero and we have everything but the dongle. Do you know how hard it is to get that fucking dongle?
Mm,
Do you know how many dongles I got, Crash, for that? Loads. Absolutely
really?
loads.
yeah, he'll send it out when he sends me my
Give him
360.
one.
It'll cost me more to send it to him than it would for him just to buy it somewhere.
Probably, yeah.
But he can't find one. He's just told you how difficult.
Come on,
I'm gonna
price.
I'm gonna guess 15.
15 pounds.
Ooh. Now, do I think it's over 15 or under 6? 16
What's
pounds.
6?
Or whatever Matt said.
Ooh, okay.
That's a scummy
it's a 5.
tactic.
16.
Can I change
I'm
my
happy
number?
to report to you.
I
No,
don't
you
want
can't.
to change
Sure.
my number. I don't want to change my
Sure.
number. No.
I'll let
no,
you.
no. I'm gonna keep the 15. I'm gonna keep the 15.
I'm happy to report to you one of you is correct. On the money, guaranteed, 100% right.
No one's paying £16 for anything. Not me.
Congratulations. Matt P video. I paid £5.
Goddamn right.
How much did I sell it for?
Oh, you've sold it already. Did you not at the
Already
car boot?
sold. It sold,
sold on eBay?
instantly when I put it up on Vinted.
Really?
Because they are a rare
people want
item
them.
that sells very regularly.
Wow.
Fuck you, Matt. I told you.
I reckon you sold it for. I reckon you doubled your money, 10 quid.
I think you tripled your money at least. I'm cheating because this isn't for a point. But I'm looking at some of the prices they go for. I reckon you sold
Why you
it.
gotta ruin the game, Despawn? Why do you have
I
to
was
ruin
curious.
the
I
game?
didn't know who was
You
the plane.
ruined it.
All right, I didn't Google anything, but I'm going to say £30.
Crash?
I don't want to make a guess.
You guess, Crash.
You probably sold it for 45.
Should have gone 31, Crash.
I
Should have
took
done
an
one.
offer. I had it up for £30 and I took an offer and took £20.
Mm.
I'd have held
There you
out.
go.
They're going for like
That's
35,
business
40 quid.
101, guys.
I love
I could
that.
have, you're right, but I find them
But you only
quite
buy it for a
often,
fiver,
so I
so-
just
yeah,
went out
that's
my
fair.
house.
Did you sell a lot on Vinted? Is that like your
Yes.
go-to first place?
Yes.
Oh, okay, interesting. I was just assumed eBay, right? But maybe that's too old school at this point.
No, I started using a thing called cross list as well. And it lists across all the different platforms.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they just give you
There you go.
notifications.
Points are
from
looking
them.
like this. Crash on 15, Matt on 6 now, Despawn on 11. I am now on 12. Ooh, congrats, Matt. You're getting there. Oh, Reese is on.
Oh, you're taking a point for that, you fix, for fooling us all with Guitar Hero. Okay, I see.
What do you mean, bro? What the? That's
Get in
definitely
the
worth
comments.
a point.
Get in the comments, you lot. Get in the comments. It's disgusting.
All right, I'm gonna do these questions next week.
These are not done.
These are our questions from
We
this
don't.
week.
We didn't have
Perfect.
the questions.
We'll do
yet.
questions next week. That's a 2-hour podcast. Plug. Get yourself out of it, Matt. Quickly plug.
Oh my god, there's probably going to be a GTA trailer next week. So if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe, hit the bell, and the next week's episode will be 8 hours long as we dissect a 1-minute trailer in granular detail. I really enjoyed today's episode, so I hope you guys did too.
Me too. Despawn, what you got to plug?
Podcast reviews before Crash gets to them. Go give us some podcast reviews. We don't have any, I'm sure. I'm not even going to bother checking, but we should get some this week. Please, pretty please, give us podcast reviews.
Matt, can you do me a favor real quick?
Yo.
Ask for podcast reviews nicely.
No, my whole MO for the last few weeks has been don't review us on Apple, so don't bother.
But we haven't been getting reviews.
Well, there we go.
Since
It's
you
been
asked
working.
nicely, that's the last
Thank
time we
you.
got a review.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to me and not reviewing us on Apple. Instead, go to the YouTube channel and leave a comment telling us who you're supporting in the World Cup. Thank you.
You've asked for a lot of comments. On a real though, and my plug will be this. Please drop comments if you like our content. It's really hard making content and getting 4 people together and doing a 2-hour podcast in the blistering heat. And Matt needs to go. And I'll be honest, I just like it when we get interaction. Like, the Discord's popping, but to know that our content is listened to by people and people actually like it would be nice to see. So please drop comments on YouTube. If you have the financial ability, head over to patreon.com/mcfixer. Support at the MXAM level. We're going to try and do the podcast live again like we used to. And yeah, man, just keep being amazing to one another. I really do appreciate everyone. Matt, great job on the breakdown. Until next time, we'll love ya, leave ya. See you all later. Good boy.